Oh, what is up? What is up? Who do we have up in here? We got anybody in here? I saw some people commenting. Where everybody go? Y'all left? Y'all left? It's 5:02. What's going on? Oh, there you go. He says 11 people. Let's go. 11 people already. Oh, what am I hearing? What is this? Hey, Gothic chick. Thank you for coming through. Kayla Deshay. Kayla Deshay, you right on time. You came at the perfect time, right? You ain't late. You ain't late. Where you, Kayla? Have you been around here before? Is this your first time joining us on a live? If so, I need to know where you come checking in from. You made it in at the right time. XOXO Sylvia, what is going on? Gabrielle, always good to see you. Welcome back, Fromly. Marjoram. Hey. We're gonna keep it civil today, right? All right. We're gonna keep it PG today. I appreciate you coming through. Oh my goodness. Look, I know we got a lot to talk about. I have a lot to talk about. It's been a busy, it's been so busy. It's been so busy, but you know what? Busy is a good thing, and I'm so excited about the way that this season is going. What did y'all think of episode 2? Didn't I tell y'all this episode was going to be emotional? Right? I said it, right? Like, yo. Kayla Deshay, is your second time. You just got off of work in the Twin Cities, St. Paul, Minnesota. Appreciate it. PG, you know what? Marjoram, I don't even know if you really said anything. Maybe I just projected stuff. But I'm still here to have a good time with everybody. I really, really appreciate it. Vanessa Wicked, thank you so much for coming through. Ah, man. Yeah. I see mom is here. Let me make sure she's propped up. Everybody can see her. Yeah, that episode was a challenge. That episode was a challenge for me as well. I know I'm not even talking into the mic. 1 second. I just got to fix this up real quick. So I got a box or something. Give me 1 second, everybody. I appreciate your patience. Because for whatever reason, my camera moved and it's not in frame. Oh, here come the wife. She want to be on camera too. Right? She want to let everybody know I am a married man. You know what? Mommy is here. I know she's next to me. Look, see? What are you doing?
I'm going to get a stand.
Okay. They said hi. Vanessa said hi.
Hi.
All right. Am I projecting an R rating on you? You know, no. You know what? Maybe. I'm sorry. I appreciate you coming through though. Ash Ronald, look, Ash Ronald is an admin on this page. I want you all to give Ash Ronald some respect when you see him. Oh, thank you. That's perfect. There we go. Ah. Yeah, that episode was really emotional. I'm going to get into it. I think this week I'm going to do like a little bit of a recap with you all, and tell her I said hi. Ash Ronald said hi.
Hi.
And yeah, I think I'm gonna touch on it a little bit. There's a lot of stuff I want to talk about this episode. I actually got notes, y'all. I did notes this time. 39 people. Whoa, we cooking with grease now. We gonna know. Anthony dropped the Patreon. Listen. That's one of the topics of tonight. So I'm definitely going to talk about that. So let me give you a rundown of everything I want to talk about today. So this way we can run through it and also have an opportunity for you guys to just let me know if there's anything else that y'all want to talk about. Of course, y'all know I'm gonna say my what ups in between all of this. Vanessa, I know you. Asanta Asher, listen. Yes, the storytelling has been intense this season. They definitely decided to level up this season compared to last season. Last season was definitely a lot more character development. So far this season, I feel like I'm seeing character development and the action, right? They're giving us both. That's definitely a much better balance. And I'm enjoying this season so far. I'm only a couple episodes ahead. I'm just like, I'm doing a lot, and I want to do my scripts for these episodes when I do my breakdowns pure, right? Like I don't want to watch, 5, 6 episodes ahead and then write a script for episode 3, faking the funk. I want to give you the authentic stuff. The live streams is going to be a little bit reserved because I know I've seen more of the season, but it is, I'm gonna keep it fun. This one I wanted to talk about a few things. Like I said, first off, thank you to everybody who has been helping me out and donating via Cash App. Kayla's bestie, Kayla's bestie, go ahead and put me down as a dependent. All right, Kayla's bestie, I from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, because you guys know there's no super chat option, there's no super sticker. I'm not monetized. It's great that we're getting views, but it would be great if I could hire a video editor to help me. But it is what it is. I'm doing everything myself. I'm just opening up my Cash App real quick. I want to just make sure I don't miss anybody. Again, thank you, Kayla's bestie. Thank you, Vanessa Wickett. Yes, Anime Food Fest on the 25th. I'm making that happen. I also have a wrestling show to go to that night. WWE is going to be at the Barclays Center, and my wife bought me and my son tickets to celebrate our birthdays. So I'm going to go to the event, and then I'm going to run out. I'm going to grab my son, and then I'm going to go take him to the Barclays Center. And we're going to see someone get the SmackDown, right? That I want to see if I could meet my tribal chief. Josie, thank you so much. You also have been helping me out with Cash App. That is a big help. Thank you so much. I'm really appreciative of that. So thank you everybody who have been helping me out with the Cash Apps, the Venmos. I'm gonna put it down at the bottom. I don't know how long I'm gonna keep it there. I'm really not trying to. I don't really feel comfortable asking. I am from the Bronx. I kind of like to try to do things on my own and earn my way, but I do appreciate it. So I'll keep it here for now, and eventually I'll take this down. Ash Ronald, I see you there. The Copper Broom, thank you for coming through. The Copper Broom, I don't think I've seen you around here. Now I know you're new. You're new. If you are new, or if I haven't noticed you in a previous live, I apologize, but thank you for coming through. Please let me know where you're checking in from. I definitely like to see where everybody's checking in from. Some of your cities I have visited, some of them I haven't, but I definitely want to know where everybody's checking in from so we could talk about it. The paintings in the basement. We absolutely going to talk about the paintings in the basement, and I'm going to pull up some high-res images about the paintings in the basement. We're going to go through them. There's a few of them I definitely want to talk about and get into in deeper detail. Because they definitely seem like they're going to give us clues as to some of the questions we had in the past, as well as some that we have in the future. I am going to talk about the Ravens and how that connects to Elgin a little bit. I can't talk too much. Yeah, I know when I do this, I have to make sure I say the right stuff. Kiana Cakes, thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you, Kiana. 64 people? Yeah, it's 11 minutes in. Oh, and thank you all, because we hit I know last time we was live, we hit 10,000 subscribers. I'm like, oh my God, thank you. I think now we're at like 10,500. I was told to hit to 30,000. And at first I was skeptical that we might be able to get there, but y'all making me believers, yo. Y'all really are touching my heart, and y'all really making me believe we might be able to do it. Thank you all so much. I really love that, and I love you all from the bottom of my heart. It means so much to me, and I see the support. Yeah, It means the world to me. Ash Ronald, is this stream only going to be about From, or can we talk about other topics and things? I mean, we could always talk about other topics and things. I always do interject a few other topics, but you know, I would love for you to raise any specific topics that you want to talk about. I do a weekly show with New Blurred Order on Saturdays where we talk about movie news, we talk about events, we even touch on some reviews, and we talk about Rings of Power. But I can also talk about them here. If y'all want to talk about them, I'm happy to do that. Let's see. Did anybody see anything in the paintings? Yes. There's a lot of new stuff in the paintings, and I'm about to get to that in a second. So there's a couple things I wanted to talk about. I said, let me run through the topic. So I wanted to thank everyone who's been donating via Cash App. This is a huge help. This is what is allowing me to pay for my StreamYard subscription. It's allowing me to keep doing these lives and not have their watermarks or limited to platforms or amount of time that I can have. Thank you all for doing that. Jose Ricio, first time new guy. This is your first time? First off, welcome to the Fromly. Listen, you made the right decision. I know there's a lot of YouTubers out here talking about From. I'm never gonna bash anybody, but I am gonna say I think I am really good at this. Like I'm not Dave Chappelle good, like but I am levels above a lot of these other YouTubers, and you're gonna feel my energy, you're gonna feel my excitement, you're gonna feel my passion, or you're gonna have a good time. So thank you for coming through. You need to let me know where you're checking in from, Jose. I really need to know. I'm also going to be talking about my Patreon. I'm going to talk about the pictures in the basement, right? I have high-res images of the pictures in the basement. I'm going to go through them all first, and then I'm going to talk about the Patreon a little, and then I'm going to talk about, what was my last thing? Oh, I owe you all a theory. I owe you all a theory. Right, I did this video last week for episode 2, and I had the theory at the end of the video, but my theory was just, with all the stuff that I was juggling, I just didn't have time to edit it. That's the honest truth. Like, I had met with I've interviewed like dang near the whole cast of Rings of Power, including Sauron. Which was great. And I was able to debut that video on my live stream with the New Blurred Order. So if you're interested, maybe I'll bring it up here. But you can also check my other live stream if you're Rings of Power fans. I'm a huge fan of this show. I was able to talk with the actors Elrond, Gil-galad, the High King Gil-galad. I was able to talk with Queen Midiel. I was able to talk with what's the Harfoot's name? Nori. And I was able to talk with Sauron. So that it was a really, really cool conversation that I had with all of them. For those of you who know my interview style, you know that I think I'm my favorite interviewer, right? Like I've watched my own interviews with people. So I think I'm my own favorite interviewer. I think if you are interested in Rings of Power, it's a good watch. But I decided that, you know, because I owe you guys a theory, what I'm going to do is toward the end of this video, I'm going to give y'all a sneak peek. Like, the video is not edited yet, but it's also just going to be a hint at what you're going to be able to expect from my Patreon when you guys sign up. It's going to be really exciting. I'm going to drop the link to the Patreon in the chat. I want to do a few different things in the Patreon to really make it worth your value. But I'm going to have different tiers of Patreon for different people. So I really appreciate you all coming through and showing the support. We got 80 people checking us out. I think there will be a lot of story development in this season. So this is one of them things that I'm going to be able to answer in the Patreon. But I'm going to give you think of today's live stream as a free preview of the Patreon. Yes, there's a lot of story development this season. Things that you probably don't expect to happen. Okay? There's a lot to get excited for in this season. Again, I'm only like a couple episodes ahead, and my jaw is already on the floor. So, yes, there's a lot of story development this season. You got to listen carefully to what Victor's father says about his wife's visions. Yes, there's a lot of important things there. And I already see that I'm very, very, very far behind in the comments. So I'm going to skip ahead. Hey, if you can, please do me a big favor. If you're here, if you're new here, I see there's like 86 people watching. I can't see the like count right now because I got way too much stuff going on, but please, please, please give this video a like. These likes do so much. It helps me attract more people to come watch this video. It'll show up on more people's home screens. And I get surprised, but there's still people out there who don't know that I'm doing from videos. I honestly think I'm maybe in like the top 5 from. It's like me, E-Man, Teflon. I think Story worked his way up in there, and then me. I think I'm in the top 5, but there's definitely people who've never heard of this channel, and I definitely want to make sure that they're able to get an opportunity to watch this stuff too, because I think it's really helpful when we all work together and try to figure out this mystery, because there's a lot of cool stuff going on. Listen, one thing I want to quickly say to my homie Ash Ronald, listen, I don't want you to get buried in the comments. If there's something that you want to talk about, text me. All right, you can text me. All right, so text me and I'll make sure that you get through, and I'll get your topic up there. You VIP up in here. Appreciate you. The Copper Room, thank you for coming through. Delsenia, hey. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate when I start seeing some people to the point where I'm like, I feel like we all coming back together like real family. Like I almost feel like I seen you at the line when I'm fixing me a plate. Like that's what I love. But thank you for coming through. Jose Ricio, originally from Brooklyn, checking in from Shalimar, Destin, Florida. First off, Brooklyn. I'm in Brooklyn right now. I'm originally from the Bronx. I live now in Brooklyn. But I appreciate you checking us out from Florida. Listen, I hope you have a good time. Let me know what you thought of yesterday's episode. If you saw my deep dive, you saw it was a really emotional episode for a lot of us. And yes, one other thing I definitely need to do is I need to thank all of you who have been showing support to me about my mother, and sharing your stories about how your own experience have happened and how this episode touched with all of you. I know it was really, really hard for me to do it. It was really hard for me to even talk about it. It's hard for me right now to talk about it. So I really appreciate you all for showing your support. I think for the most part, I didn't really comment back to a lot of the comments that was showing support. It was not easy for me. So I think I just gave thumbs ups and hearts. But if you're watching, I really mean that. Thank you, because that means a lot to me, because I'm still dealing, So thank you all. But let's go ahead and switch gears. I don't mean to get all sad and stuff. Let's get into this episode of From. So, I want to talk about a few different things. I want to talk about the things that happened in this episode. Obviously, you guys saw my video where I broke down this episode, but I really wanted to kind of really dive in on the stuff that was going on in that basement. But if you guys have any specific things that you want to talk about, just let me know in the comments. I'm trying to catch all of them. But definitely, definitely want to focus on that. Anime, food fest, and wrestling. You and your family have a fulfilled day. Yeah, thank you. It's I'm gonna be celebrating my birthday this next October. I'm an October baby. I'm still a Libra. And my wife bought me and my son some tickets to go see wrestling. We're gonna go out there and acknowledge our tribal chief and see what's going on with the universal title and all that good stuff. I'm gonna be able to bring my fake championship belt out and just really, really have a good time. Did Victor's dad mention the mom or the sister at all? He did. Victor's dad did mention Miranda a few times. He didn't. I don't know if he really talked about Eloise too much, but he did talk about Miranda when he talked about how, you know, when they were heading into that basement, he had that scene where he was talking about her paintings and how she started originally taking the paintings. Him and his wife used to do drugs, and then they stopped when they knew they were having the kids. But for his 35th birthday, he did another hit of acid, and he revealed that. Okay, yeah, let me be careful what I say. He revealed that when he did that last hit of acid on his 35th birthday, that's when Miranda started to paint all the paintings down there. So yeah, he did talk about it. The mom mostly. He did talk about his kids when he showed Tabitha the kids' bedrooms. But he definitely had a focus on Victor and his wife. So I'm really curious about that. Denver by the way of Connecticut and New York. Wait, what? Connecticut and New York? Which one came first? You're from Connecticut. And first off, Mr. Obnoxious, I love that icon. That right there, you know what it reminds me of? You remember that cartoon, Bobby's World? Like, he kind of looks like Bobby. I love that icon. That's really cool. I love that. It took me back to my childhood for a second. But Denver's a great city. I haven't been to Denver yet. I have friends that live in Denver. They always send me beautiful pictures of like the mountain range, the snow, the wilderness, the fresh air. So I'm really excited that you're here. Maybe I will make my way to Denver. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm gonna do for like if I'm gonna travel again this year. I'm thinking about doing another trip. We'll see how that works out. 30,000 ASAP. Yes. You know, I'm not gonna. I need to be able to have these conversations with a little bit more authority. And 10,000 is fantastic. It changed the game, right? You guys are going to see a steady stream of surprises all throughout the season. I want to pick that up to another level. 114 people. Oh, yes. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. 114 people. Thank you all. Please give this video a like if you haven't already. I'm going to try to peek at it. I don't think I can, but I'm going to try my best. Let's see. What else we got? The main writer looks like he's definitely dabbled. Yo, leave John alone. John Griffin, you know, maybe. You know what I mean? This is college. College is a weird time with people. Leave them alone. All right. Mr. Leo G, you got 10 minutes left on episode 2. You better watch that at 1.25 speed so you could come back. Or go back to the deep dive. The deep dive is there as well as soon as you're done. I don't want you to miss this live stream. I'll try not to double up on the things that we did in the pre-recorded video, but if you can, you know, I definitely recommend doing that if you have an opportunity. I think I see it now. There's like 76 likes. There's 118 people watching. Come on, people. Come on now. What's the last 30 of y'all doing? What are y'all doing? You know you having a good time. Y'all ready to get into these pictures? It's been 25 minutes. I gave people some time to get off of work, get loaded up. If you're in the car, put it up on the screen. Thoughts on the guy in yellow from the pictures? Which picture? Oh man, all right, hold on. First off, let me go ahead and get these pictures up so we can start talking about the stuff that was going on in the basement, right? Because I know we got to get to the main event. I know y'all having a good time talking with me, but let's really get to this, right? So give me 1 second. I'm sharing my screen. Yeah, I remember this image, right? This was the face-off between Christy and Sarah. That was a nice little face-off. She was like, get out. But let me get to the other ones. Tabitha, she was over in Henry's house, and we see that he has a weird beer, hard crab. I don't even know if this is a real beer. Maybe somebody from Maine can let me know. I have no idea if this is a real beer. Illegal Mods is here. Where's Illegal Mods? Anthony, no spoilers. Vanessa, I'm not going to talk about episode 3. I might talk about. Can I talk about episode 2? Can I talk about? Is that okay, Vanessa? Let me know what's okay. Illegal Mods, appreciate you coming through. Man, I put up the wrong post. Illegal Minds is here. Here we go. I always have fun when I see this man's name. He always makes me think of my childhood in Chinatown, getting my PlayStation 1 modded. Who else is up in here? Is Jeremy Ice and Fire? Is Jeremy up in here? If Jeremy's up in here, say what up. What up? What up? What up? Definitely appreciate you coming through. We got 132 people watching. Thank you all for coming through. We're about to get into this. What was we saying? Jose Reese, thank you. I appreciate that support. Jay Ruiz, we got a Jay. Oh, Jay, listen, I pinned your comment. I pinned it. We're gonna come back and see if you was right. I definitely pinned it. Wild Margarine, I'm from Michigan and California and Scotland. You didn't tell me about Scotland. I don't remember you telling me it's Scotland. I would have remembered that. Let's go. All right. I'm having way too much fun with the comments. Let me get up into these pictures, right? So we all saw the pictures. We all saw these episode pictures. I don't know if we really looked at these photos as much as we should have. I'm very curious about this because one of the main things that I've noticed is that, you know what? I got to be quiet because I'm about to say something from the wrong episode. But we already know that there's some weird coincidences between or parallels between Tabitha and Miranda, which is Victor's mom. So I wonder how far that goes. Right? I wonder how far that goes. Where's the motel and from? There is no motel, man. I've been saying this. Keo Marty, thank you for coming through. Where are you checking in from? But yo, there is no motel. Like, we have a motel sign. There's an American flag. There's a pool. But ain't no motel. I don't understand. I don't understand how they did that. Who else we got up in here? My Comment. That's a really cool name. My Comment. Shout out to you from Canada. Shout out to all my Canadians. Yo, I like Canada. Canada is an interesting place. You guys are like, well, Toronto, Niagara Falls, very New York-like. I can't say much. I don't want to. I need to go more because when I went, I really got to enjoy the money exchange. I think at the time when I went, it was like $1 was $1.50 there, and I just was acting a fool in the casinos because they let people gamble at like 19 there. So I definitely remember having a huge amount of fun in Canada. Keo Marty, you all the way from France? My guy, you are 5 hours ahead. It is 10:30 at night. Thank you. You could have been anywhere right now, and I really appreciate you giving me your time. I know how valuable time is, so I definitely appreciate you giving in some of your time today. Jonah Xaviera. Jonah Xaviera. I got it right now. Jonah Xaviera. That is a beautiful name. I love the fro. I love that. All right. My wife is. Before I get in trouble. Michael Lamont, yeah, in the future. I'm trying to get through these photos. So I thought these photos were interesting. We've got, I'm assuming, Henry, Miranda, Victor, and Eloise here. I thought these photos were all very interesting. This is definitely a photo. So here's the thing. So, wait, what? Australia? What time is? Okay, Google. What time is it in Australia? 7:30 a.m. Listen, we talking about from with some coffee. That's what I'm talking about here. Okay, Google, stop. That's enough. You did your thing. I appreciate you. 7:30 in the morning. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you giving me your time. You coming through at 7:30 in the morning. 147 people checking us right now. I think this might be a record. Botswana. Latana Tarea. Oh, yes. You don't understand what that means to me. I've been to Africa. I've been to South Africa. I've not been able to visit more parts of Africa. I will. Botswana is one of the countries I definitely want to learn and more about. Only thing I know about Botswana is what I learned in like really in middle school, and I learned some of the uh, things that they say in school, like che che kule, che che kofinsa, kofi salanga, kakashilango, kum adende kum. I know a little bit of stuff. I don't know much. I probably butchered that. Correct me if I'm wrong. But thank you for coming through all the way from Botswana. I love that you're checking us out. Yeah, it's October in Australia. We got to talk about these photos though, right? I'm gonna lose way too much time. I'm about to spend way too much time saying hellos and shout outs to everybody. If I don't start getting to some of these pictures. Kayla Deshay, you learned about this song too? Yes, you was in a good school, right? One thing I hate, damn, I'm going on a tangent. One of the things that bother me though is that American schools, they kind of keep us in a bubble. They don't really teach us enough about world history as they do American history. I had to do that on my own. And sometimes I had a cool teacher who went out of their way to, give that extra effort. So I really appreciate it. It stuck with me. Love it. LBM, you also here from Australia? Sydney, good morning. Good morning. I don't want to stereotype. I don't know if you just say good morning. I know the movies say good day. I don't know, but thank you. I really appreciate you. Jay is also checking in from Australia. Yeah, there's a lot of y'all from Australia today. I'm respecting that. Mac Amazing's coming up in here from Texas. What part of Texas? Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Austin. I've been to all these cities, and I love Texas. Yo, the food. Y'all don't know how to fix normal size portions in Texas, but y'all do y'all thing for sure when it comes to throwing down in the kitchen. When they say y'all cook it. I really appreciate you all. Thank you all so much. I'm glad I unlocked the memory for you, Kayla. I'm gonna try to talk about some of these paintings. Now, one of the cool things is that I get like the high res images to use in my content and my reviews from the studios for talk about from. But what I noticed was the pictures they gave me weren't from the show. Like some of the paintings were moved around. Tabitha wasn't in them, and they're super high res images. So this is kind of a treat because we get to look at these images at a higher resolution and really, really examine them. So without further ado, I'm going to just dive right into this first image where there's a couple of things here that I did want to talk about. One, we have another raven painting. I told y'all before, I think ravens are a very, very important part of this story. I think we underappreciate the ravens. I think one of my theories I did share was like, when people see the tree, people think, well, what happens if you just power through the tree? I honestly think that the part that probably helps bring them to Fromtown is the ravens. I think that one thing we all see commonly happen with people is when they see the tree, the very next thing they do is they hear ravens cawing in the sky and they all look up. And I think it's in that moment that they're looking up is when they get transported. So I've been paying special closer attention to when ravens appear. They appear in like the Elgin shirt, definitely. They appear in a lot of the cave drawings when Tabitha and Victor were in the cave at the beginning of season 2 and when Jade went there at the end of season 2. But also, I think that they're a lot more important than we're giving them credit for all throughout this season. There's a couple of other things in here. I'm not sure if we'll go through them, but there's a couple of important ones. Like there's this one up here in the top corner that I paid attention to. And if you notice it, it looks like there's a bunch of people standing around. I don't know if they're standing around a fire, if there's a ritual going, or if they're on fire, but there's definitely something about this painting that feels like a huge clue as to what's going on in this season. I do have an ultimate theory about why things are happening. I'm saving that for later in the season, but today I'm definitely going to give a theory as to what I think is happening. So we're going to talk. I'm going to share that video with you guys, and I'm going to warn you guys. Look, this video is not edited, right? I recorded it today. No, not this one. I recorded another one today. I recorded it last week. It's not edited. So there's going to be a couple mistakes in it, like when I do my cuts normally. But I want to give you guys an idea of what kind of content you're going to be able to have access to in the Patreon. So you're going to be able to get early access to my unedited videos and interviews before everyone else does. So there's a couple more things in this painting, in these paintings here as well. There's this one person, I'm assuming it's a woman, this pale looking woman looking out of a window. There's this weird one behind it that kind of looks like an upside down face monster. There's the Nkui kids back over here in the back corner. And a whole lot more. But let me switch to the next image because, again, there's definitely some images here that I don't think were really featured in the show, or if you did see them, we didn't really get to see them at a really good angle or at a high resolution. So let's start off with, I'm gonna just work my way from the top on the way down. I'm gonna try to check back on the comments for you guys, but give me a second while I power through this. So the first one that I see is this pair of Nkui kids. We know them, right? We definitely know them. The next one, though, is really interesting to me because what we see here is a painting of a house, and beneath the house are a bunch of skulls. Now, my theory about that is that it relates to all the people who have lost their lives in Fromtown, and maybe even can describe what Victor did with all those bodies after the massacres. We know that Victor is used to burying people. We know that. But there were a lot of bodies after one of the massacres when he came out of the cellar, and we don't know what he did with them. The assumption is he buried them. The next one that we have here is a dark figure. Now, I think this is the dark entity. I think this is the dark entity that is the big bad of the show. I think that we see him in a lot of different paintings. I think one of the more famous ones is like a dark face with red eyes. I think this is a painting of the dark entity. We have our from trees. I think the trees are a whole other thing. I think the trees are, so I'm going to say something and you guys could kind of keep me sane. I think the town is an entity, but I think it's a separate entity. I almost feel like the town and the forest themselves are alive. One thing that we know is that Victor keeps track of the trees moving. And what they're doing is they're moving closer to the houses. I think that if you guys read X-Men comics or are familiar with X-Men, you might have heard of the island of Krakoa. And Krakoa is a living island. It's a person that evolved into an island when they had their mutant power develop, and they literally became a living island. I almost feel like this place itself is alive. I'm going to go into my theory about it when I play the video a little bit later, but I do think that this is a separate entity and the trees are moving and reacting to what happens in the town separate from the monsters. I don't think the trees are the monsters. I don't think they're working with the monsters, but I do think that they are, I don't want to say sentient like Ents in Lord of the Rings, but I do think that they have independence. So I wanted to just put that out there because we see that they're moving, and I think that they're running away from the threats in the forest. We know that there are more threats out there. And if you remember, I mentioned last week, like, you know, when there's a natural disaster, like a forest fire or something like that, animals tend to run away from the fire and like herds and stuff like that. They run away from threats together. I think the trees are trying to move away from whatever is out there, and they're trying to get away from that threat. So let me move on because I could go on that, but I'm gonna save it for the video. I sort of question if there's a gas station. There is a gas station. It's the bar. If you remember where Tom, the bartender, was making vodka, where Jade perfected the vodka, it's actually an old gas station. There's just no gas. We see the painting of the boy in white from the title image. Oh my gosh. So many people have been telling me, nah, man, Ellis painted that. Ellis don't paint, right? So as an artist, I know, look, doing things in one medium and then doing things in another medium is not easy. It's almost like, you know, when someone first learns to draw, if I want to paint, yeah, I have a foundation of it because I know how to draw, but painting is a whole other thing. It is like a whole other skill to learn. Almost like skateboarding versus roller skating. Yeah, you got some similar foundations, but you got to learn something new. So Ellis does charcoal paint drawing specifically. It's like a pencil, but it's a much softer tool, and the tool spreads a lot more simpler and finer, and you can get a little bit more detail in your values when you're drawing. Values, shadows, and shading. So we now know that Miranda was the painter, and this kind of goes back to what I said in the video. Y'all remember that painting of Fatima and Ellis naked and from town, and then there's like a giant white hand and another hand and all this other stuff? I think Miranda painted that. Like, I'm pretty sure that Miranda, Eloise, and Victor lived in Colony House when they were there. And I think Miranda painted this painting of Ellis and Fatima while she was in From Town. I don't know where she would have got the acid, but I absolutely think that this is her style. If I can, I'll pull up that painting again, but I definitely think that this belongs to her. We have another painting down here. Now, this one I can't quite place, right? It's this person, I think it's a woman with white hair and like a headband. She kind of looks like Storm, right? She kind of looked like one of the X-Men. I don't know much about her, but I am curious to see if we see someone with white hair as we go further along into the season. Anthony, some call it the Garden of Eden painting. That's a good one to reference it, right? The Garden of Eden. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try to adopt that. Jeffrey, listen, Jeffrey, Amsterdam. Yes, Amsterdam. I love Amsterdam. Yo, I had a lot of fun in the cafes in Amsterdam. I had a lot of fun, respectably, walking through the red light district. I didn't partake. Me and my wife, though, we went arm in arm. We looked at what it was about. Cameras weren't allowed. Wow. Wow. Thank you for coming through. Would you say Wald Marjoram, it looks like a nurse? Could that be a nurse? Yeah, I can see that, right? With the outfit, the uniform that they wear, and the thing to cover their hair. I could definitely see that being a nurse. Another important thing I saw in this was this dog. I'm going to get to dogs. Dogs are important. We're not talking about the dogs enough and from. I don't hear enough YouTubers, Reddit theorists. Listen, you guys are here. Please, we need to talk about the dogs. I need you to all put your thinking caps on. We need to come together. We need to talk about the dogs. Dolly Cook, thank you so much. Yes, come on, guys, like and subscribe. I have 170 people watching. There's 107 likes, 187 people watching. 174 of y'all watching from YouTube, though. Come on, y'all, please. You're having a good time. Please give this video a like and go ahead and subscribe, because I promise you, we're going to get into some stuff that you're probably not going to see on the other channels. The other channels, I'm not going to badmouth. I'm going to uplift them. We're all in this together, but I am going to try to give you my own angle from the way that I see things, which is definitely different from the other channels. Thank you all for coming through. What else do we see in this painting? So this is other painting back here. I'm going to see if I can zoom in on it. It's right here where it looks like kids are being trapped or tortured or something. Like, it almost feels like there's hand. I'm pointing at it like you can see my hand. It almost feels like this is a hand at the bottom right here, but it also could be fire. And this could be what I think is a pot. And it looks like these kids are being cooked. Now, one thing I noticed is that the Nkubi kids, you notice that their hair is falling out, it's tattered, it's all messed up. Almost like they've been cooked. Yeah. Yeah. This, I feel, has a better, I feel like this is a big clue as to what happened to the children. I really, really do. And this is why they needed to be saved. It almost on some Hansel and Gretel type stuff. I feel like this is what happened to the children. Did I see? Hold on a second. Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, V. Thank you. V Love, you showing some love. Gave me $10 on Cash App. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. E-Man came through with 50. Yo, this is what we doing? Listen, thank you both so much. Look, I'm not monetized. I really appreciate it. This is for the love of the show. This is for the love of the Fromly. Thank you all so much. If you can support me, it's great. If you can't, we'll still be friends. We'll still be friends. I'm still going to do this every week with y'all, but thank you. Thank you so much. And to be transparent, I'm using this money to pay for my StreamYard subscription so I can stream without ads and without a time limit and things like that. So thank you all so much. I think those were the main things I wanted to talk about in this image. I'm going to give y'all all a quick second if there's anything that y'all want to talk about in this one. Let me scroll through some of the comments. Civil War nurse. Is that a Civil War nurse? You got me Googling. What do Civil War nurses look like? All right. Maybe. Let me see if I could pull. Can I pull this up? Let me open this image in a new tab. And let's take a look at this for a second, because you might be onto something. I'm going to stop this share for a second because it doesn't let me share two at the same time. Well, can I? Oh, no, it don't. So let me stop this for a second. Let me share my tab. See, this is what I'm talking about when we start figuring stuff out together. Damn, look at this. Don't that kind of look like what we just saw in the painting? Like a Civil War nurse? Marjoram, I think you might be onto something. Yeah, I think this is confirmed. I think this is a safe bet. This seems like it. This seems like the answer. Yeah, I think that this is the one. I think that she's a pilgrim lady, probably from the log cabin town. Yeah, but listen to what we were talking about before about everyone in this town having a role, right? Every time that there's a bunch of people, if we're going based off of like we need a hero, we need a chromonacle, we always need a healer. Right now, Christy is the healer. This would make sense if they had a nurse before that was their resident healer. Um, are we talking about the other Protestant lady? The other Protestant lady? What other Protestant lady? What you talking about? There was another Protestant who Purple Alizé. I need you to just give me, if you could just comment real quick and just let me know specifically which picture you were thinking about. I'll definitely circle back to that. Miranda could have tripped on shrooms. He painted the Garden of Eden. What are there shrooms in From Town? I know they was growing weed, but did they grow? Did they find like mush? I don't know if I would mushrooms from the forest, from this forest. Like it's one thing when they bring their own seeds, but mushrooms is just like fungus, right? It's just stuff that is a naturally occurring growth. Like I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. Like what have you got to lose, right? Nurse or milk lady. Keo, it could be a milk. Do they have milk ladies? Like, no offense, no disrespect, but I know you got to remember, like back then, they were very selective about what type of jobs they were allowing women to take. So I don't ever remember seeing a milk lady in media, but maybe I'm wrong. I could just be ignorant. Again, American education is only, but they only teach us, but so much. It's only so much. Um, but let me know. Maybe there was a milk lady. Yeah, man, that's an old pilgrim nurse, right? That definitely feels like an old pilgrim nurse. Let me switch back to the other painting. The 50s nurse looks similar. The curves of the outfit, yes, yes, right. The shoulder poofs and everything. It looked like somebody from the 1700s with that head covering on her head in that dress. Let me switch back, right? Let me switch back so we could also see what we're talking about here. All right, we're back. We're back. Let's zoom in on her. Let's give her a nice, good look. I agree. I agree. I think we solved this one. I think this is a nurse. Let me see if there's anybody else. Bro, you said like Diddy friends who said I left the party early, recounting your red. Listen, I didn't see nothing, yo. I don't know what you talk. I didn't see nothing in the red light district. Yo, I gotta go back to Amsterdam. Yes, I need to go back. Maybe that's what I'll do, right? I've been saying, what am I gonna do for my birthday or New Year's? Last time I went to Amsterdam, it was in December. It wasn't as cold as it was cold. It wasn't as cold. First off, yeah, y'all just don't like heat in Amsterdam. Y'all like, 40. It's hot in here. I don't understand it. Like everybody's eating with a jacket on. I don't understand it. But I need to go back. I need to figure out a good time to go back. Yeah. Julie, an old chosen one. I don't know. I'm gonna honestly say I don't know. There are some things that Julie is emphasizing in this season. There's some stuff we're going to talk about Julie some more this season, because Julie, again, everybody who's checking this out, consider this a free trial of the Patreon. I'm going to give more hints than I normally do about future episodes. I'm not going to spoil. I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen, but I am going to give stronger hints. I am going to be able to say, hey, these characters are going to be, important this season. So I will do that. If you're not comfortable with that, I understand. I'll chill out. This won't be the normal thing, but just as a free preview of what we're going to get with the Patreon subscribers, you're going to get stuff like this. But yeah, Julie is going to have a more story in this season. We're going to definitely talk more about Julie. We're going to talk more about Elgin and his zombie woman. We're going to talk more about Fatima and her demon baby. And we're going to talk more about theories. She's dressed like a Puritan. Yes, I can see that. Absolutely. There's a lot of overlap and commonalities with outfits like this. So right now, I feel like it's yeah, I still think it's safe to say that she's like a nurse for right now. At least it's a strong assumption. I think the dogs are evil. Gothic chick, I'm gonna talk about that. We're gonna get to that. I'm gonna definitely talk about the dogs before this live stream is over. Right? We definitely gonna talk about that. The one dog that was there when Boyd said, "You can't break me," then it barked and ran away. Maybe the dog was an entity or spy of the entity. That's how they heard him. So I don't think that dog is a problem. I think that dog was there to help Boyd. He was like, listen, we got to go. There's more stuff to do. And he was bringing Boyd back before things got out of hand. That's what I think that dog was there for. It's not the first time he appeared to Boyd. He appeared to Boyd back in season 1 when we saw Boyd first find the talismans. I think that dog was the one that led him back to town because he was lost. So I think that dog is cool, y'all. And I'm going to get into that. 180 people watching. Thank you all so much. 180 people watching. 142 likes. Let's go. Let's get it up there. 100. Look, the rest of you 30, yeah, the same 30 holding out. I understand. You need a little bit more convincing. Let's get into it. Let's get to the next painting. I'm definitely going to talk about the dogs before this video is over. Ooh, okay. So again, I do have high resolution images, right? They're not directly from the show. I don't think that we saw these angles in the episode, but we're going to be able to go into them and talk about them together. Victor doesn't like the dogs. No, you got to remember why Victor doesn't like the dogs, though, because Victor doesn't like anything that reminds him of his trauma. And when he came out of that cellar, one of the first things he saw when he came out of the cellar was he saw the dog and he saw the boy in white. And the boy in white put in the work to make him, befriend him. But I think the dog might have running away just was like, it remained a bad memory or a bad traumatic symbol to him. So I don't agree that all the dogs are bad, but we'll get into that in a little bit. In here though, we have a painting of I think it's a woman with a really bloody mouth. Now, this makes me think of Fatima a little bit, right? Because Fatima had that moment where she pulled out her tooth and she had that scene where she had blood on her chin. It kind of makes me think of Fatima. However, Fatima didn't have crazy eyes like that. Who is this woman? My theory, I'm gonna give you our free theory. Again, this is a Patreon preview. So I'm gonna throw my theories out there in real time. I think this is the woman that Elgin is dreaming about. We're going to get back to that. Another thing in this back here is we have one of the Civil War soldiers. He seems to be painted at the same time as what looks like an Ankui kid. I'm just calling them Ankui kids when they have the dark eyes, but this could also definitely be the same person in this painting. So here's something that I noticed, right? The person in Elgin's dream is wearing a Japanese kimono. Japanese people were absolutely in the United States during the Civil War. There weren't a lot of them, but they were there. And the ones that were there absolutely brought their culture with them. Is it possible that the Civil War soldier and the kimono woman knew each other? Maybe, But I absolutely think that because there were people from Japan in the North America during the Civil War, we have to take into consideration that these people are former victims of this town. Um, I think that this woman was here during around the same time as the Civil War soldiers. I'm definitely going to get into that a little bit more. What else we got? The guy in yellow is Ellis 100. Did I pass the painting with the guy in yellow? Do I have to go back? I keep trying to look for this guy in yellow. Only one I see is this like kid in the pot. All right, look. If I see if the guy in yellow painting comes up, please, guys, let me know. Let me know. What's up with the cabins? Weird skull things and edible food. Who planted that? So, um, I hate going off on tangents, but you guys know I also love going off on tangents. The cabins, I think, are the old town. I think during the time of the Civil War, there was another town. It's probably a lot smaller, like a village. And maybe the Civil War soldiers lived there along with and any other person that got dragged into from town, like this nurse or this Japanese woman in a kimono. I think that the town skull things or scarecrows, like I call them, were there to ward off creatures that were lurking in the forest, and it might have been a poor man's version of a talisman. Poor man, the original version of the talisman. But yeah, that's definitely one of my main theories here. Red Cthulhu, I never knew how to pronounce this thing. Cthulhu throwing out tentacles to the Nkui kids. He could have cooked them. You're talking back about this here. Yeah, because we do have that painting in the caves of like a red creature with tentacle arms. So it absolutely could be a Cthulhu eating these kids. But I also think like they're in a pot. It looks like they're in a pot. So we definitely want to circle back and talk about that a little bit more. Could that be a cloud raining some black stuff down? I know what painting you talk about. This one here with the trees. It could be, because it's not snow and it's not rain. It could be some sort of ash falling from the sky. So I don't know what it is, honestly. And I don't think we've seen enough in the show to really get a strong theory on it. But I'm not going to dismiss anything. Everything's on the table right now. When Jim and Kenny were in the small cabin, there was a chain on. Ooh, excuse me. Yes, there was a chain on the door, like they were trying to keep more stuff out. Yeah. So yeah, there's some more Civil War soldiers. So there's another painting here I wanted to talk about. I'm gonna see if we can really see it in another photo. But this painting here, you could tell it was Father Khattri's house, and I think we saw it in the episode. Do I have any episode photos in this directory? I had some screenshots of it. Let me see if I could drop them in here real quick. But there was a pretty decent photo. Oh man, I definitely want to talk about this. Of this painting here. I'm going to zoom in with what we have. But this was definitely a painting of the church, right? Because that's the only stone house in the current from town. And one thing I noticed was that when you looked at this painting, lights are coming out of the windows. It's almost like an explosion or energy coming out. And there's crosses flying everywhere. Now, I've been wondering about this for a while, especially ever since Father Khatri mentioned how there's no Bibles in from town. Um, I don't think this evil entity is down with Jesus, y'all. Like, I don't think he messed with the Bible at all. And any semblance of the Bible from the past has been destroyed. This to me feels like an example of whatever happened in the past destroying remnants of the Bible. You see that there were in this painting, there were crosses in the windows, like almost like they were stained glass windows with crosses in them. But they're not there anymore. When you look at present photos of the cabin, the crosses aren't there. So like they replaced the windows. So what happened to all the crosses? What happened to all the Bibles? Why are they all gone? Why did Father Khatri have to start writing this thing from memory? I don't think this entity is down with Jesus, y'all. I don't think he is. I don't think he is. The kid's physical position looks like a callback white stick figure. That's the other painting. Let me get back to that. But I want to see what you all think about this idea of the church. And maybe in like a previous round of the game, the church was attacked by the entity and all of the remnants of the Bible, crosses, I think all that stuff got taken out. But let me see real quick. Oh, the white stick figure. So you're talking about like the white stick figure on kind of like what's on the talisman, like this. I kind of see that. I could kind of see that. And I'm supposed to be giving away these talismans. We'll talk about that. Yes. Oh, the kids in the circle. This one. This one. That looks like that to me. This absolutely looks like this to me. Right? Yes. I think that this is a painting of whatever happened to these people that, yes, I did. Yes. Man, there's a lot going on. I'm still. All right. I'm going to throw it out there. Does anybody think this is a witch? Her. Her right here. Is this a witch? All right. Let's keep going, right? Let's keep going. 172 people watching. Thank you all so much. First off, Facebook people, thank you for giving me likes. Look, I wasn't even sure if I was going to keep doing Facebook because, you know, Facebook, I have mostly my Bollywood audience. For people who don't know, I love Bollywood movies. I've been blessed with a lot of opportunities to talk with a lot of really high profile actors in Bollywood. I have a good relationship with the studios out there. They've seen my interviews and they like what I do. They like the movie blog as a website, and they've actually reached out to us to do opportunities with them. So thank you, Facebook people, for coming through. I really appreciate you for taking an interest in From. Do you guys have From in India? If you guys are watching from India, I didn't even ask my Indian audience that, but I'm curious. Hey, Chicago Made Gaming and Media. Chicago Made Gaming and Media is up in here. Let's go. There's a lot of people up in here today. The man in yellow, please. Look, I'm looking for it. I'm looking for the man in yellow painting. I'm looking for it. Give me if I find it, if I pull it up, please let me know. Man, I'm so behind in comments. All right, I'm doing my best, y'all. I'm nowhere near the bottom. All right, let's go. All right. I'm sorry. I had to kind of skip ahead some comments. You guys are very, very interactive. Look, if you can, any comments that I'm missing, please point. If you can help some of your fellow Fromly and answer them. Some of you just understand once we get the Patreon going, it's going to be a lot smoother. All right. I'm going to move on to the next image that we saw. Let me think. There was a Civil War dude back here. I don't think there's anything else in this one besides this hand that's bleeding. It's a little weird. And this is the really good shot. So I'm so grateful to Amazon and MGM for giving me this image, because one of the main things I really wanted was a good, well lit view of this room without Tabitha standing in the way, because she was in the way. So let's just do it again. We're going to start from the top and we're going to work our way down. Right now, I don't see a man in yellow besides this right here in the middle. I don't think this is the one you guys are talking about, but we're going to get to it because this is definitely a much larger painting. Dun, dun, dun. All right. From the top, we have a pilgrim man, right? He's got the fruffly stuff around his neck, the ruffles. That is a pilgrim, right? That's not Civil War. That's pre-Civil War. So I would say this is what, 16th century style of dress? 17th the most. But this man feels like a pilgrim. Yeah. I'm curious what you all think. If you guys noticed this one, let me see if or a Puritan, a scarecrow, Dutch rough 1600s, Dutch rough. That is Dutch. That my people from Europe, from Amsterdam, from yeah, really calling stuff out. Edwardian could be. It definitely could be. 100% pilgrim. I feel like it was. Jay Ruiz, what'd you say? The drawing of the man in yellow standing alone, similar to the drawing of the boy in white painting. I'm gonna try to pull it up. If I have to, I'll pull up the episode. I'll pull up the episode and we'll look at it. It could be Italian, but I say Dutch. I get Dutch vibes from this too. This is a museum rooms of painting. Yes, it is, right? Like we could just sit here and study this like fine art for a while. Like they did their thing. And I saw earlier in the comments, someone was saying, I hope that they auction it off. Me too. Me too. Like I low key want to just get a print and see if I could do it myself. But this definitely is a hint to me as to how long this has been going on in Fromtown. This goes back to the 16th century. Some people say it's a puppet on a string. New Oasis, you think it's a puppet? I don't think so. I don't see no strings. Like New Oasis, I rock with you. I really do. I really do. I believe, but I just need to see something to make me feel like it's a puppet. Like a figure in a Rembrandt painting. Absolutely. The Pilgrims were the first people to settle in the USA. I'm a fine artist and I was a fine arts major. Yes, please. I was graphic design. I was a graphic design major. Right now I haven't done it a lot anymore, but my main thing was illustration. Love to do comic book art. Hey, hold on one second, because you know what? We're doing Patreon previews, right? Let's do it. I don't have a lot of my art anymore. Unfortunately, I suffered a couple of house fires. I lost some of my favorite pieces of art. This is probably one of my least favorite pieces, but I'll let you guys see it. It was a drawing I did of the Hulk when he was doing World War Hulk, and he was just, wrecking shop on the Fantastic Four and the Avengers. It's a drawing I did a while back. It's definitely probably my least favorite drawing. I did it like God knows how long ago, 10, 15, 20 years ago. I don't even know. I definitely draw a lot better now, but I just wanted to give you guys a little piece of me in this live stream. When is the boy in white interview? So I asked to also see if I could speak with Ethan, because I want to talk with Ethan. My man's been creeping me out all season long and I need answers. And he let me know that not this season. So unfortunately, I won't be able to talk to Ethan this season. maybe things will change. Maybe Simon will, get the green light and we'll be able to talk. But I did ask him. He did respond, and he told me like this season is not something he's able to do, and I think he's already moved on to his next production right now. The Portuguese, Dutch, English came around the same thing. Yeah, a lot of people came. Timestamp 5320 for the man in yellow. Definitely. All right, we're gonna get to that. Let me run through some of these other paintings real quick because they're definitely interesting. So one thing I noticed was this right here. She painted the talisman. This is that, right? It's like half of it, but that's definitely talisman-like right there, right? So we know we have multiple talismans in town. I have a specific one. I don't remember if they all had the same exact pattern of symbol on them, but that is definitely talisman art next to some rags. Like, why didn't he clean that? Then we also have this creepy figure to the right of it, a dark figure seemingly holding a bag with, I'm going to call them ravens flying overhead. Could be a witch, could be the dark entity. The dark entity could be the witch, could all be the same thing. It's definitely something that I noticed. I have theories about the dark entity, but I also have theories that maybe there's more than just one entity at play. Look, at some of y'all is tap dancing on my main theory. I'm gonna need y'all to hold up, all right? Some of y'all need to hold up. What else we got going on here? What do you guys think this is? Do you think that this is a witch, or do you think this is like the dark entity, the cicada creature, the ballerina stuff? What do you think that this particular figure is? I'm keeping an eye on the comments. I'm caught up. That's the granny monster. Oh, she does carry a bag, right? Unicorn 1, MVP right now. That's the granny monster. That makes sense, right? That absolutely makes sense, especially when we've seen her take her monstrous form in her face. Thank you. Look, formally we doing this. What else we got down here? We have, I went ahead. I didn't mean to go ahead. We have this tree over here, which I thought was interesting. It was like a tree with a light in it, but it's dark. It doesn't look like a faraway tree. And it's definitely got a raven in it. It's definitely something weird about this tree. I have no theories on this one. So I'm open to talk about it. PM, you said you solved the show. When will you tell us you said you couldn't break? We couldn't. You said you solved the show. So I think I'm gonna be able to talk about it after episode 3. About my full theory about solving the show. And to go into detail about it. I think I need you to be able to just catch up on one last thing. And then we could go into it. But I am going to go into my theory today as to, because that theory is more so why this is happening. But I am going to share my unedited video of what I think is happening. I recorded it. It doesn't have the pictures and the zoom outs and the sound effects. It's just me. You're going to hear me do some retakes. This is considered your Patreon preview. So definitely going to do that before the end of this live stream. We're going to get into my theory as to what I think is happening. I don't know what kind of tree this is. It could be a willow tree, willow wisp. But it looks like it's holding like a moon or something in it. I don't really understand what is going on with this particular image here. But I am open to what would you say, Dolly Cook? A dark and light tree. What's a dark and light tree? It's a dark tree that's holding up lightness. Duh. All right. Is that white on the tree spider webs? At the bottom down here? That's a good theory, because we did see the trees full of spider webs in that one part of the forest. And we all know that there's a spider threat out there, right? We're all on the same page that there's something about a spider coming, right? It's going to be a problem. Did Ash Ronald leave? Ash, you ain't text me. You didn't hit me up with no specific stuff you wanted to talk about. I'm gonna have to hit you up after this. But I want to say that we know that the trees have significance into this town. I think that the trees are independent players. If I had to take a wild guess, I would say this is a corrupted tree. I would say that this is one of the trees that's been tainted by the dark entity, and that's why it has a crow on it. What'd you say? Sweet pea, 1776. I like that sweet pea. Isn't that like from Popeye? Anyway, it looks like the symbol. The symbol might not be roots, but branches with an eclipsing moon. Ooh. I'd have to take another closer look at this symbol, but it could be. You know, one thing we know is that we saw that scene with Jade and the cave looking up at the roots with the Ankui kids. And at the time, it was just straight up, it was roots and there was some light behind it. But maybe those were the branches, right? Maybe that was a different part. Nick Hewitt, the tree, I got it. All right, Nick, what you got? What you got, Nick? PM, hi, familia. I missed you. Look, we miss you too, PM. You gotta. All the Fromly is here today. Thank you all so much. 190 people watching, 166 likes. It's the same 30. Same, no. 20. Some of y'all converted. The 24 of you that are watching, still holding out. I'm gonna convince you. You want to like, you want to subscribe. We're gonna get into some amazing stuff. Right now, we're diving deep into these high resolution images from Henry's basement. These were not on the show. They didn't show them like this. Matter of fact, some of these paintings weren't even in the same locations, right? So this is when we have nice, clear, clean shots of these paintings. We're going to get into it. Trust me. You guys are going to have a great time. Nick Hewitt, it's the sun shining through the branches, creating the symbol that Jade sees. That could absolutely be it. A lot of people assume that it was roots, including myself. But I can't dismiss that this is branches as well. The tree before it fell. Luna Lovegood, thank you for coming through. Is this a painting or is this AI? If this is a painting, that's damn impressive. Where you checking in from, Luna? I need to know where you're from. As far as the tree, one thing, if I could be wrong, but I thought I saw different trees in the road, right? We saw the tree in the road when the Matthew showed up, and we saw the tree in the road when Boyd and his family showed up. And I looked at the trees at the time, and I even did a video about what were the white spots on the tree. Like when the Matthew showed up, there was a bunch of white spots, and a lot of people pointed out that those could be lichen. But it seemed like the one that appeared for Boyd looked differently, and it didn't have those spots on it. So I do think that there are things going on with trees. I don't know if this is that one tree. I could be wrong, but I just need to look at it again. This one has a crow on it for sure. Look, there's a hole on the floor. Yeah, this black spot here. That could be a hole, right? That could definitely be a hole, and then we're looking up at the branches in the sun. What we don't know is what is directly above that section of the cave. We don't know what is exactly above that section of the cave. We know that the caves go underneath all of the town, but that specific section, I'm really curious. Where is that? Mermaid Reviews, what'd you say? I don't know if my comments are working. I'll try again, but do you or anyone think the food went rotten to feed Fatima's baby? I mean, now that she's garbage picking, yes. Baby's a demon. But yeah, but you know, this isn't the only tree. There's another tree over here. I'm gonna kind of skip ahead over to it because this one caught my attention as well. This looks like a similar tree, but it has a hole in it, like it's a faraway tree. And we also have this shadowy figure standing in front of it. I don't know who that shadowy figure is. Part of me wants to just assume it's the dark entity, but I feel like that would be a little bit too easy. But this tree doesn't have no leaves on it. This could be the same as Miranda's bottle tree, because did that tree have leaves on it? I don't think it did, right? It was a faraway tree, but I don't remember if it had leaves on it. And this could be that. This could be that. And if that's the case, maybe that's where the hole is. Maybe that's where the Nkui kids were under when they looked up. Man, we might have just solved it, y'all. Real time. I like this. What do you all think about this tree here? Is it the same tree? I think it's the same tree. That could be it. That could be it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 main branches, a 5th side branch. 1, 2, 3, 4 main branches and a 5th. That could be the same tree. I think we figured it out. So if that's the case, that means the monster's cave is under the bottle tree. I like this. I like this. What'd you say? I think it's showing where the chamber is, where the kids are. The kids are at the bottom of the hole on the bottom right of the tree pick. The branches are the sunlight. Nick Hewitt, I think you solved it. I think you did it. I think you did it, man. I think you did it because look, then right over here, there goes those things that they were laying on. Right? Those little sacrificial pedestal things. Yeah, Miranda was on one. I don't know who this is. I don't know who this is at all. I'm open to suggestions on this one. I don't know who this person is with yellow hair. It could be Miranda. Maybe she did a self-portrait. I don't know. We definitely have some more pictures of the lighthouse. We have some paintings here that kind of look like the paintings that were in the cave. I feel like these paintings tell a story, and I'm going to get into that next week. We have another painting over here of where we saw one of the Nkui kids appear to Tabitha when she was roaming the caves with Victor. It felt like they were imprisoned. I forget where I saw it. I think it was in one of the comments. Did I screenshot it? I think I saved it because I wanted to give this person credit because one of you in the comments pointed out how when the Nkui kid appeared to Tabitha in the cave, it rolled like a rock, and it rolled the rock into the stone puzzle type thing that was stacked. And the theory was that the stone puzzle thing is actually supposed to represent the lighthouse. And if that's the case, the theory is that maybe the Nkui kids was trying to tell Tabitha what to do. Maybe Tabitha needs to destroy the lighthouse. So I'm going to try to find who mentioned that and give appropriate credit. I do want to share it with everyone because when I heard that, it blew my freaking mind. But yeah, here go my screenshots. Now we cooking. About that particular, I don't want to cut them. I want to copy them. There we go. About that particular thing. And that blew my mind because we know the Nkui kids are trying to say something to Tabitha, but what? So I think, and I agree with the person who made the theory, I think they were trying to tell her how to destroy what to do. Greg Buster, episode 6 is wild. Look, hey, spoiler free. You know, I don't knock anybody who has seen the episodes. I've got mixed feelings about people posing things as theories because they know what is going to happen. If you're one of those people, not you, Greg, specifically, other people, but for people who are trying to grow on social media and they're using this as a platform, absolutely do it. Just, you know, I'm going to take a different approach, right? I'm going to talk about the episode. I'm not going to sit here and pose things in that way. I'm just going to take a different approach. Hey, any pictures from episode 3? You want pictures from episode 3? Y'all want pictures from episode? You want me to show pictures from episode 3? All right. Tell you what. After we do the painting pictures and I play my theory video, let's do some pictures from episode 3. All right? Let's do it. Let me keep going. Sweet Pea is a new show with Jackie from Yellow Jackets too. Oh, nice. Welcome. Upside down, the middle trunk looks like Victor Face 2. That upside down face, the one that I said was a witch? I think so. That could be Victor. But why would she draw Victor like that? That's weird. Can we talk about this? I'm sorry, Ben Warwick. I'm going to have to move you for a second. Can we talk about this? What is that? The first thing I thought of was the painting, the Garden of Eden painting with Ellis and Fatima. And we see like a white creature with teeth and hands and tentacly things. These kids are getting eaten. Is that a cyclops? Is that just a bad perspective painting? Is that a witch? What is that? Jay Ruiz, hey, maybe the like button is broken. 198 people watching, 183 likes. Now yes, we're getting there. 194. You last 11. I believe in you. Believe in me too. Hey, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Trust me, this season is going to be wild. I am starting to edit my episode 3 breakdown. It's going to be a rough week for me. I got my review of Caddo Lake that I did with New Blurred Order. I got to interview the writer-directors of Caddo Lake, which is a really cool movie that is coming out from M. Night, produced by M. Night Shyamalan. That's coming to Max. I think it's coming out next week. This week or next week. So I'm going to be able to post my review soon. I'm going to have an interview with them. I'm going to see Joker this week. Joker, I have mixed. I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, me and E-Man talk about the red flags of movies, right? I don't think this movie is going to be bad, but I haven't really been excited for Joker 2. You know, to be honest, I just haven't been all that excited for it. And they're giving me my screening like 2 days before the movie releases. I'm pretty sure some people are going to even see it on Wednesday. Like, I think it's going to be open to like fans. So anytime I see like screenings happen for fans before critics, that's a red flag. If it's like promoted heavily that fans love it, it's a yellow flag. If they're giving me the screening the same week of release, that's another red flag. I usually see screenings for films that people are confident in like a week or two before it comes out, maybe even more. Silo Season 2 doesn't come out till November, but Apple is confident. So they're already hooking me up with that. So look out for me to cover Silo. I don't know if there's any Silo fans. But if you are, when From ends, we're getting into Silo. But yeah, maybe we'll see. We'll see. Bermuda. Oh man, you know, that's an island I haven't been to. It's an island I do want to go to. I always, you know what my thing is with Bermuda? They keep telling me it's wild expensive, and this is someone who lives in New York. Like Hawaii was expensive. Is it like Hawaii expensive, or like is it like I better just get used to eating McDonald's for a week? Like, what do I have to do in Bermuda? Or am I going to just be like climbing trees, chopping coconut? What am I going to do? Is it not that I'm, penny pinching, but I like Mexico. Mexico, they're really nice with the US dollars there. But this right here definitely gives me the vibe that there may be a witch, there may be some sort of dark entity that ate these children for some reason. And those are the children in the tower that Tabitha had to save. Man, let me keep going down because I got caught up on some comments. Nkui meaning the trees in the Beothuk language. That's from Tehran M, not me, but it feels solid. Look, Tehran has a solid theory, and I kick myself because I feel like he said his theory in full on the Movie Guru's channel. I did a live with the Movie Guru. He invited me to that live that he had Tehran on, and I was so exhausted that day. I did a live with Teflon, E-Man, and a few other YouTubers. I had a full day of work. I had been editing, and I kind of bailed on the Movie Guru that day, and I've been regretting it ever since because that would have been a solid show to be attending. But yeah, let me see what else you guys are saying about this this picture here. Julie B Deep Dives, the movie blog, love your channel. I called in when you were in the group live with Tony, Jeremy, man. I was so nervous, but now I have my own channel doing my own lives a few weeks later. Yo, first off, congratulations. Listen, you need a guest? I collab too. People stop asking me to collab. Like that first week, I had a lot of requests, like, oh, let's talk about From. Then it kind of dried up. So I'm still interested in collabing because I feel like sometimes that's when we have the most fun and we talk about things from a different perspective. One thing I'm definitely going to do in the Patreons is I'm going to let people call in. I thought about doing it on these lives. I can't even get through comments, y'all. Y'all see I'm all over the place. So I'm going to do it for the Patreons. Y'all going to get some exclusive lives from me, and we're going to be able to do some definite conversations about it. Man, how far am I back? Man, all right, let me skip ahead. Why are those teeth green? Like maybe not teeth, but eating forest trees. That's an interesting one. Why are the teeth green? The background is green too. And it's got a yellow tongue. First off, it's a yellow tongue. Dolly, I'm with you, right? We definitely got to pay attention to these colors. But it's got weird stuff for hair. It's got green teeth. And it's got a yellow tongue. Something is off here about this creature. It could be the Cthulhu. It could be that. It could be a witch. I don't know what's going on with that. Is he wearing a coon skin cap? You mean like the raccoon hat, like Davy Crockett? You know I'm thinking when I do the people's eyebrow. That could be. That could be. Yeah, that definitely could be. Why is he eating kids? It. That. Why is that thing eating kids? This is probably the most interesting painting out of this, and I think it's the biggest clue as to what happened originally. I almost want to share my theory because we're like teetering on it, and I'm 90% sure at this point, seeing how smart you all are, you guys may come to the same conclusion I did. So I won't reveal it, but I'm having fun talking about it with you all. Who do you think would be the most gut-wrenching death aside from Boyd, Kenny, or Ethan? Donna. Hands down, Donna. Like, people love Donna right now. Ellis would be a tough one, but definitely Donna because people see her as the opposing the co-leader of the town. Like, I don't think Boyd can be taken out because he's the hero of the game. He's the leader. Or if he does get taken out, it won't be for a while. But Donna is kind of floundering, right? She's kind of lost her role in town. She still leads Colony House, but Colony House has gotten less of a focus ever since the massacre. So I definitely think Donna would be the harshest one. I think the pointy trees are teeth. Maybe. The only thing is I still got to understand that yellow tongue. I got to understand that yellow tongue. It's a game of Go played with tarot cards. Any heard of? So what can I say? We have seen hints of tarot cards or tarot cards in the past. We had that time when Tabitha was dreaming about the tower, about the lighthouse, and she was walking up the stairs, and at the top of the stairs she saw Jim hanging upside down, and that absolutely was a symbol of like the upside down man on those cards. So I totally agree that we'll talk about tarot cards more, and that's where I'm gonna shut up. I like a lot of parts of Tehran's theory. I talk to him on Twitter sometimes. We discuss. Sometimes some things he says is above my head, though. So Tehran's theory, I thought about actually doing a video just on his theory, but I don't feel like that's my place to do it. But more so point you all in the direction of his theory. It is on Reddit. Do I have it open? No, I don't. I had it open. I'll find it and I'll put it in the comments. Oh, no, I do have it. Here we go. So for those who are interested, don't leave this live. That's not what I'm asking y'all to do. But after this live, maybe go ahead, check out his theory. I'm definitely going to talk about his theory as we go through this season. My thoughts are that he has a really well thought out theory. Luma Lovegood, we haven't met this monster yet. We'll get to that. I feel like I've been on this page for a long time, though. Let me see real quick if there's any more images here I want to look at before I move on to the next one. We got an image of the boy in white down here as well. We have the lighthouse at night, which we've never seen. Because think, what would be the purpose of the lighthouse at night? Now, you remember that we're seeing more bodies of water in this show. We know the Brundles. We now know that there's a lake where they're finding the vegetables. But we also know that, if I'm not mistaken, by the lighthouse, we heard water, right? Like an ocean. And Boyd was like dang near on some cliffs. So we know there's a lighthouse. But what happens? What's the significance of the light? We'll get back to that. The trees could absorb the fear and feed it to the pierced ear guy. The trees definitely are absorbing the fear. I'm going to talk about that in my video theory in a little bit. Let's see. I'm starting to think that the other town they found had its own type of monsters. I was wondering if the tongue was the yellow bile. I do also agree that the town had other monsters. I don't think that they're only the creatures that we see come out at night. I do agree that the town had other monsters. I think that's what was on top of the cabin when Kenny and Jim were spending the night there overnight. I totally agree that that is something that we're going to see. Excuse me, y'all. I eat my mangoes. That other town didn't have no people. Where are they and who ate them? Oh, is this a coonskin hat or is this blonde hair? Coonskin. Say it again. Coonskin. Like a raccoon. That coonskin. The yellow tongue is noteworthy. I think so too. I think so too. I think the yellow tongue is a big deal. We also see another shadowy figure here. It looks like almost like the barn rails, but I don't know what that is. Then I don't know what this is. This is like a clown, like low key, really small painting here. Red hair, clown makeup almost. Kind of reminds me of the zombie that's haunting Elgin, but that lady didn't have red hair. I only got one more mango, y'all. I'm sorry. Like I said, it's been a busy day. Yeah, I don't even understand. I'm not eating properly. I think that was everything in this image on this image. Right, there's the skulls up here that was buried under the house, and Cooey kids, the dark figure, the trees with the black stuff raining, snowing down, a picture of the diner, which is interesting. The diner is in here. More of the prisons that the Cooey kids were kept in, more Dutch settlers. But yeah, that one was a major one to me because like you definitely don't see this in the show. You definitely don't see it. This is the last one, y'all. This is the last one. What do y'all think this is? Dang it, I'm far behind again. All right, let me scroll down. What you got here? Another random thing before I forget. Mary is going to transition into the ballerina. It could have something to do with the tongue thing. She's only ever acted in ballet roles before. What'd you say, Sweet Pea? Looks like Queen Elizabeth the First holding a cat. Is there a painting of Queen Elizabeth like that? Let me see. Queen Elizabeth the First holding a cat. You know, I hate Google sometimes because now when you look up cat images, it just gets out of hand. It does. It really, really does. I don't. Did Queen Elizabeth the First have red hair? I don't know. I'm sorry, y'all. American education, they really didn't do a great job with world history. Can anybody chime in and let me know your thoughts as far as this painting and what you think it might be? Like, part of me says, yeah, that could be a cat. Another part of me says that could be a killer claw, right? Like a mutant, like crab hands, like. And she looks like she's got clown face makeup on, so maybe it's another threat. Like the ballerina, maybe there's like a clown woman that's going to show up with crab hand. I don't know. I'm drawing at straws with this one. I don't know this one. Why is the boy in white looking black here? Has some brown looking skin, bro. But the monsters don't actually eat the people. They just rip them apart. So the monsters rip them apart, but they also gut them. They take all of their organs out. When we see images of the victims, they almost always have their chests ripped open and then everything's hollowed out and all you see are ribs on the sides. So I don't know what they're doing with their insides. I just say as an assumption that they're eating them, but they're doing something with the people's insides. And it makes me wonder why when back in season 1, when Toby got by Sarah, why she had to cut out his tongue as well. But I think I'm gonna move on to the next image. We've been on this image for a while. Let me move on to the next one. We got some more clear shots of the same images we were just looking at. Are any of them rearranged? We got the symbol. We got the grandma monster. We got whatever this Cyclops looking thing is with green teeth and a yellow tongue. And no, I think we've seen all of these. We got the Civil War soldier that shot at Jade. I think we've seen these. Then we have this far out shot here again. So here we get another good look at this weird upside down looking face, this weird figure looking in the window. I think it's one of the monsters looking in the window when people are staying in town. Then we have this image up here of the kids on the merry-go-round, right? That's the merry-go-round that's by Victor's house. There's swings, there's a slide, and it kind of lets us know there were children here. So we always talk about now there's only ever one kid in town, right? Ethan is the only like child in town. Victor was there with his sister though. So when Victor was there were two children, but those are the only ones that we know of. What if there were more children? This to me hints that there were way more children in town before. Maybe this thing has a taste for children. And these children, if you look at their clothing, yellow, red, orange, absolutely match what was going on in this image here. I think those are the same kids. And if that's the case, Victor might have had some friends. He might have had other children he was cool with that he's not talking about. And a bigger threat took them. What are you saying? I'm telling you, Victor's sisters drew these and not his mom. I mean, Henry said it was her. I'm not saying that you could be wrong because this show does know how to throw us for a loop. But I just need something to kind of disprove him for then, or at least throw him into reasonable doubt for right now. Nick Hewitt, can you zoom in a little bit more or not? Oh man, I'm so sorry. I saw this 5 minutes later. Nick, I'm gonna look for your next comment. Let me know what image is that you want to see me go back and zoom in on. Let me see if you said it already. I'm so sorry, Nick. You've been coming through for us too. So I definitely want to get your comment up here and look at the photo. What are they doing with the organs? I don't know. I have no idea what they're doing with the organs. I'm from the UK. It is very much like a few paintings of Elizabeth I when she was younger, and I vaguely remember a painting of her with a string-type clock attachment that she's holding. Ooh. Let's go back. Where's that painting at? Sorry, I gotta hide you, Nick. Is a lady from Elizabethan times from the dress. I can see that, right? Because I just did I just went to a Bridgerton party with my wife, and they wore those dresses where, you know, it's got like a bustier and their chests get puffed up, and they have those big dresses. I could see that. I could definitely see that. 200, 190. All right. Everybody gave it a like now. Thank you. And his head is weird too. Yeah, he got dark skin and his head is weird, right? He kind of looked like something messed up going on over here. And the hair is high on the forehead, wild marjoram. Yes, that is definitely Elizabethan time style there. But what about this arm appendage thing? Do we really think that's a cat? Reminds me of the Thingamajig Book of Manners. Yeah, that would be a monster with a cat that will show up. Jeez. New fear unlocked. Jeez. Yo, that painting looks like a little redhead girl crying. Henry said none of them came home. You know what? Let me take myself. Up. It took my audio. All right. How about this? I want you guys to be able to zoom in and see it the way I'm seeing it. So let me move myself out the way a little. Because this is a really cool one. I don't think I could get any more zoomed in than this though. 800 is my limit. The painting looks like a little redhead girl crying. Henry said none of them came home. Aw. They sell organs. No. Christina McNally, the legs look like they might be stained as well. The boy in white's legs? Man, I'm sorry. I'm feeling so bad. I'm falling so behind in comments. Okay, not a cat, an arm. I think it's an arm. I still agree with the Victorian style dress, but right now it looks like a pale face. It looks like red hair. Did they have circuses during that time? Do the monsters collect the organs for someone else? Ooh, that could be something. You know, like cats do, right? Like when cats catch mice, they don't eat them, right? They bring the mice over to you and they be like leaving it to you as like a gift or something. They'll leave it on your porch. If you guys live in cities with like stray cats, sometimes stray cats, if they find mice or rats and they're like the cat is like friendly with you, they'll kill the mouse or rat and they'll leave it for you as like a gift. It's the weirdest thing to me, but like it is something. So maybe the monsters are collecting the organs for something or someone else. But yeah, I've been going through these images for a while. No man in yellow yet. Look, I'm gonna get to it. Let me look for the man in yellow because we got to talk about that, right? We saw these paintings. And this is the weirdest part because they keep rearranging the paintings when I come back to them. Like this one here was not, dang it. This one here was not this clear and big before, but here we are. Man in yellow, boy in white, looking like a black kid. More trees. More of the same paintings. This one I thought was cool. This dark figure here. And it looks like he's holding something that looks like a talisman. Right? Absolutely kind of looks like this thing in his hand. But this dude is creepy. He's got crazy eyes. He looks creepy as all get out. Yeah, something ain't right here. Something ain't right here. I don't know what's going on here. Civil War soldiers, we see them more, two of them in a field shooting at something, maybe a threat, maybe a monster. We get a much better look at this creature here. Oh my gosh, thank you, Amazon MGM, for coming through with this. Because look, we wouldn't have this clear look at this painting without them, y'all. Two hands. So this is not a flame. These are two hands. One is orange, one is black. It's got a green tongue. I'm sorry, yellow tongue, green teeth, and it looks wildly monstrous. And you definitely about to eat these kids. How many episodes have I seen? Y'all really want to know that? How many episodes have I seen? Man, AMR Boss. Oh yes, 2 a.m. 2 a.m. Yes, I appreciate you hanging around for 2 a.m. I promise you, look, anything that I talk about, you're going to be able to see tomorrow. I'm going to have the whole video up for you. I'm going to put a thumbnail together. It's definitely going to be here. Thank you for coming through, everybody. This is for real. Like, what's that? 8 hours ahead. Thank you. How many episodes have I seen ahead? So here's the thing. I have more episodes than I've watched, and it's because I want to write my scripts out organically before I get to like really far in the season, and then I have to go back and write a script for episode 3 and be like, oh, what's going to happen? I'm not going to do that. I like to kind of be within a reasonable amount of episodes that everyone else is on. So yeah. So I'll say I'm not far ahead. I'm not very far ahead at all from episode 2. I have more episodes. They're available to me. I'm just not watching them yet because I want to kind of do this in real time with everyone. Team Orange and Team Black, the two sides at war here. The kids are dressed in orange and yellow. I don't know if that has any significance, but I've noticed it. Cyclops monster. It definitely could be a Cyclops monster. They sent 4 episodes to critics, right? Depends on your status with them. I've spoken to a few critics, and certain critics have gotten less episodes than others. So I don't get to pick that stuff. No, not that layout. There we go. Hair looks long. It could be a coon tail. Could be a coon tail. Don't say anything to get your creds taken away. I won't. I've been a critic for a while. There's some people who are doing from stuff and they just do from stuff. They're not really critics. But I'm accredited. I'm an accredited critic with Critics' Choice. I'm with the African American Film Critics Association. I declined to join a few other critics groups because I didn't think I needed to be in all of them. But I'm like a real critic, so I get to go to movie screenings. And one of you, I don't know which one of you, I saw me in Manhattan at one of my screenings, standing in line to watch Beetlejuice, and stopped me and was like, "Oh, it's you." So, you guys will see me from time to time at critic screenings. I don't even care, you guys. The main theaters they do them at are like the main Manhattan movie theaters. You guys know which ones they are if you're in New York. But every once in a while, you guys will see me out there eating pizza, waiting in line to get inside. But yeah, I don't think my status is at jeopardy here. In the upper left, is that hunched yellow suit person with a tail or just a blob? Oh man, I hope I'm on the right image. All right, it's only been 2 minutes, so it's got to be this image. I'm so sorry. I feel bad because I feel like I'm losing. What is that? Is that a painting on a cloth? Like a red creature? You guys see this? Am I bugging? Next to the pilgrim? And he almost looked like he's looking at it. Like he's got one eye. I didn't even see that behind the paintings before. That's an interesting one. I'm looking for the other painting that you're mentioning, the yellow blob. I might have lost it. There's this one here, but this is like a yellow. This is yellow from another painting. It almost looks like a house or a bus. See if I can. See, they move the paintings around, so it gets a little annoying. We see it there. I'm jumping around. I'm sorry, y'all, if I'm a little disorienting. Boy in white, yellow. I lost it. Tabitha. This is when Tabitha was down here and where the paintings were and how they arranged them in the actual episode. Julie. All right. So I think for the most part, we kind of went through all the major paintings that were in that basement. They were, yeah, yeah. They were intense. There were a couple things I did want to look at in here. I did take screenshots of here. I see, yeah, there is a caulking gun. I agree, but it looks like there's something behind the caulking gun. When Tabitha was down here, I don't know what this is. This little weird, creepy, that looks like a puppet. My guy don't even have a nose. He has the holes where a nose is supposed to be. That's not the one in the yellow that you guys were talking about. So I'm gonna pull up the episode. You said it's at the 54-minute mark. I'm gonna pull it up and we're gonna find it. There's the cave painting with Victor with the red things. Ooh, yes. We got to talk about this. All right. So here comes the time. I'm going to go ahead and you guys who are interested, I'm going to share something I don't normally share. I'm going to share my video before it's done. I never share videos before they're done, but today is going to be an exception for you all because I want to give a little bit of a hint as to what you can expect from this Patreon as we move forward. So give me 1 second. Let me get this together for you. Again, apologies. This is a super busy day. I should have had this for you guys already. Where are you at? This one, clips. I don't want to accidentally play my, I think it's this one. This should be the theory video. I don't want to accidentally play like my breakdown on episode 3. That'll get me in trouble. That'll get me in trouble. Let's put you in the theories folder. All right. So this is going to take like a minute or so. So let me put up the episode while that's going. This is episode 2. All right, good. Not episode 3. Let's do this window here. And you said it was 54 minutes in. I'm sorry, though. My timestamps are a little bit off from y'all's because I don't, when I get it, I'm not watching it on like MGM or Amazon. So I'm going to need y'all to help me navigate. So 54 or so minutes in. Where is the yellow, the man in yellow? Is it during the basement? Can you guys let me know in the comments? Dragons. Did I show dragons? Someone find Anthony the painting of the man in yellow. Please. 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 It's in the basement. All right. It's a big painting. It's real obvious. It's in the basement. All right. All right. So we're in the basement. Down here? No, those were the Civil War soldiers. We saw that. We keep going. Nope, not here. Try and be mindful of not getting the live stream taken down for playing the episode. Where we got? Who else? Who said? It's as clear as Tabby. Wrong picture. All right, let me keep going. I'm at 5304. His 5306. 5310. What is that? Look, that looks like the seller. I don't know what this is. It looks like another monster. We didn't see this in the other paintings. Check your email. All right, check my email. All right, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, I'm opening up my email right now. Let's check this out. Here we go. Coming through. That man in yellow. Oh, yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes. Episode 2, images. Oh my goodness. How did I not talk about the man in yellow? You absolutely right. Thank you. Oh man. Let me put this up. I have it now. I have it. Thank you. Oh. Present. Where's it at? Let me open it up. Okay. The man in yellow. We got it, y'all. We got it. We got it. We got it. We got it. So, oh man. First off, thank you all so much. I really appreciate that. This is what I love y'all. I really, really do. I really, really do. This man in yellow. I can't say my theory. I can't say my theory because it touches on something we see soon. I can say that I think we're going to talk about this soon. If I would say any one thing, yes, he is giving final boss vibes because he's glowing red, like a sense of evil. He's got that I could kill you without even he got that vibe. I think he's someone I could say this. I could say this. I think he was around when Christopher was around. I think he's someone who was around when Christopher was around. He's definitely not a Civil War dude dressed like that. He's definitely not in From Town now. But I think he was around when Christopher was around. Is a slight possibility that he might be from the current round, so to speak, mainly because we know that a lot of people have already died even before we saw them. You know, we saw that scene where Boyd and Christy were standing outside the pool and they were talking about how the car that was in the pool belonged to two people that we'd never met, but Christy knew them, right? Boyd has only been there for a year and a half. So that means within that time, people are gone that we haven't even met yet. So there's a slight possibility that he could be from the current round and he was just evil. But my theory is instead he's around from when Victor was a child. Man. All right, let me see. Any thoughts on Fatima seemingly not being able to open the door at the end of the episode? Hard to tell if that is a sign or if she's distracted by the rotten food. I don't think that they lock the doors, all the time. So I think that could be related to that. He got that long neck vibe. Or the original motel. What motel? Ain't no motel. Must be important painting the clean. I think so. It's a very 1950s Teddy Boy suit. Yes, it is. The car in the pool is not that old. No, the car in the pool is not that old. It's from when Boyd was there. So it's not like as old as like Victor's car. It's not a station wagon. That's Victor's dad. Maybe. Here's another thing. And I want you all to kind of enjoy these free theories that are unedited and coming to you live and direct. We know that Victor went to Fromtown with his mom and his sister Eloise. We know that Henry wasn't there. What we don't know is why Henry wasn't there. Now, I do have a little bit of a theory that Victor might have been running from Henry. Miranda might have been trying to, and this is a stretch because I don't have enough evidence to support it yet, but I kept trying to think to myself, why would Miranda be in Fromtown and Henry be left behind? Back in those days, it wasn't uncommon for wild, abusive things to be going on at home. So I feel like maybe one day when Henry went to work, I see y'all saying that Henry said he went to work, he came back, they wasn't home. That happens, right? People, women, and children who are in messed up situations because they're being abused, they're going to wait until their abuser leaves, and then they're going to get the heck out of Dodge. When we see Victor in Fromtown, he's got clothes, right? He's got a winter coat. He's got a short sleeve shirt. He's got pants. He's got stuff like his mom packed for him. What if Henry wasn't that cool of a dad? Right? He plays the cool dad now to Tabitha. Oh, I love my kids. Here's their room. Miranda, we did acid. What if he had a dark side? What I'm really curious to see is when we learn more about the time of when Victor was a child and what might have been the lead up to him being separated from his family. I kind of really do think that Henry might have been an abusive dad and Victor wants no parts of him. Could be a lot of reasons why, but I keep thinking back, like, why would Miranda leave and why would Victor have so much clothes with him? Right? So yeah. Let's see. What do you say, Michael Lamont? I don't think it was an abuse situation. Miranda was having these visions, getting told to save these children. She packed up to save them, couldn't leave at least. I don't think I agree that she was having visions. I don't think she knew how to, though, right? She knew that there was a place you couldn't escape, and she told Henry straight up, it's a place you couldn't find if you wanted to. I agree that she wanted to save those children, but I don't think she ran out the door to go knowing where she was going. Um, yeah, yeah. So I honestly think that Henry might have been a bad, part of Victor's childhood. And once they were gone, he didn't care about staying sober. Yeah, yeah. I mean, or maybe he did because the shock of it all could have been a big ego check, right? It could have been a gut punch. Because he doesn't seem like he was staying with acid, like he was continuing to take acid, but he does seem like, he was drinking. He was drinking that beer. But yeah. So there's my theory, at least about Victor's dad and how this relationship will evolve. I'm not far ahead, so I don't know for sure. But that's been my theory about it ever since we saw Henry. We saw he left the room exactly the way it was. He's kind of like frozen in time. But he has a gun. He bought the gun after they left, but he has a gun. Yeah, so there's my little quick theory about that. This villain, this could be Christopher. This could be right before he went AWOL. We only seen Christopher, I think, appear one time outside of the photo, which was when Jade hallucinated him when he was sleeping in the bar. But we haven't seen him dressed like this. We haven't seen him dressed in yellow. Does the picture of the man in yellow look like an adult boy in white? I think all of these painting faces look kind of similar, but one thing that she did unique with a boy in white, at least a Caucasian looking one, was put it like a cross on his mouth. And then there's like a dark skinned one. I don't know. Has Victor ever mentioned his dad before? No. Why would he? Dad was a problem. Yeah. Crypto Color Lights Tech. First off, thank you for coming through. Crypto, I don't think I've seen you. You got to tell me where you're checking in from, Crypto. Look, if you're new here, if this is your first time, please, everybody, roll call. Where are you checking in from? You in New York, you in Brooklyn, you in Minnesota, you in the UK, you in Australia, you in France, Canada. Canadians need to stand up. This whole show is in your backyard. But please, let me know where you're checking in from. I'm going to look for your comment. People don't appreciate unless it's gone. Totally agree. And I think Henry kind of understood that after his family was gone. Like, he messed up. Oh man, how long we been going? 2.5 hours. All right, so I'm gonna play my theory video for you guys real quick. While my theory video is presenting, let me talk to you all about the Patreon. So let me open up a tab. I opened up the Patreon. It's a work in progress, right? Because I'm new to this, right? So patreon.com/themovieblog. I'm going to share this tab real quick. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the different things that I want to do with you all on the Patreon. So on the Patreon, you see it set up. I have it here for you all. Let me talk through a little bit about what I'm offering and what the tiers are going to be as far as pricing and things like that. So obviously there's going to be a free tier, right? Definitely going to do a free tier. If you join, you get all of my stuff and you get to have an exclusive look at all of my stuff in one place. I know on the YouTube, I do a lot of stuff. You're going to see me do my Joker out of theater reaction on Wednesday when I go see the movie. You're going to see my interviews with Bollywood actors. You're going to see my interviews with Kato Lake. But some people just want to see from. This is the place to see it. If you go over to patreon.com/themovieblog, we are just doing from here. There's going to be the free tier. I'm going to have a few more tiers in here. So the first membership level is the casual theorist. So the casual theorist, this is just for people who are just ready to get early access to the breakdown interviews, breakdown videos, the interviews, and any blog posts that I have. And I'm also going to have Patreon only posts. Some of you already know that I'm interviewing the cast and I'm putting those interviews at the end of my breakdown videos unannounced. So you never know which cast member is going to show up. If you subscribe to the Patreon, $3 a month, you're going to know what that one is. And I'm going to give you the video early. I'm going to post it up there. It's going to be a little unedited, but you're going to see the full interview early. And I'm actually not going to cut out the beginning and end parts because we usually do our intros and we say hello. Hey, Ricky. Hey, Anthony. I remember that kind of stuff. You're going to see it. But I'm also going to give shout outs. If you're a member of my Patreon, you're giving me your money, you're giving me your time, I am calling you out. You're going to have a special shout out at the end of every video. So that's the intro level for the casual theorist. For tier 2, this is when things get a little bit more beyond the surface level. You're going to have everything the casual theorist gets. Plus, I'm going to give exclusive breakdown videos. I'm going to have specific videos where we break down specific aspects of the show. Maybe we want to talk more into this Man in Yellow and just talk about that. Maybe we're going to talk more about Henry. Maybe we're going to talk more about what's in these paintings. There are some things that are coming up in episode 4 and 6 that you're going to want to have a closer look at. So I'm going to set up another midweek live. I'm thinking probably Thursdays, because Tuesdays and Wednesdays are days that I usually have movie screenings. So probably Thursdays, I'll do it at the same time at 5, unless you guys want it at a different time. I saw some of y'all save Sunday, right? If you guys want me here on Sunday, I'm here on Sunday. Just let me know. But this is when you're going to get some exclusive breakdowns, and I'm going to put up polls and topics on what day to go live just for the Patreon members. That's $7 a month. It's a little bit more expensive, right? There are levels to this, though. Now, for those of you who are super enthused, we're going to have a $15 a month membership. Now, you get everything in the deep dive tier, but I'm also going to have live theory talk sessions just for the Patreons, right? We're going to have live breakdowns just for the Patreons. If you want to go live right after the episode, I think it airs on 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. or Sundays. I'll do it with you, right? This is for you guys so that we can go into the episode immediately after. If I know the deep dive is there, but sometimes you're like looking at it and you're like, where's the dude in the yellow suit? That's going to be your opportunity to talk about that live with me right after. I'm also going to give more of these behind the scenes contents like what I'm doing with this theory video right now. You're going to get shout outs during the live stream and live watch parties. Now, I've been thinking about this for a while. Why aren't we getting together Sundays at 9 and talking about this in real time? We should, right? We should. This is for the people who want to subscribe, $15 a month. To ask. It's a bigger ask. If you can do it, that's great. If you can't, I understand. I still have other membership tiers for you. This is really going to be something that are for people who really are really enthused and really want to talk about it. And then the highest level. This is a different one. This one is going to be $25 a month. We're going to talk, you're going to have voting power to influence which theory I dive into next, right? Some of you want to hear my full theory now. I'm going to give theories like this, but if we were in the Patreon and you were a tier 4, I'd talk about it right now. You'd get it right now, 100%. You're going to have all the same things as the other members, but I'm also going to go further. We're going to have the live chats. We're going to have the live Q&As. But if you're paying $25 a month, you're going to get the option of phone call participation. I'm going to put the number up. You're going to be able to dial in. You're going to be able to speak to the other Patreon members, and we're going to have a real back and forth conversation, not just in the chat, but verbally. So if Patreon is here, patreon.com/themovieblog. I did put up just the first 2 deep dive videos. I'm going to start populating it with some more of the behind the scene theories this week, including this video that I'm about to play now. It's available to you all. I'm going to put the link in the chat. I'm going to put the link in the community page. I'm going to put the link in all the videos. We are going Patreon, y'all. And honestly, this is really a thing because I'm not monetized right now. YouTube took away my monetization. I'm going to have eligibility to be monetized in November, maybe like 2 weeks before the season ends. But I really think I'm giving some a really great opportunity for you guys to definitely talk about with the show with me back and forth. So there it is. I put it in there for you all. I am going to now bring up my theory video that I've been teasing for so very long. Oh no, where'd it go? There it is. Okay. Whew. Thought I lost it. My heart skipped. Theories. So again, y'all, this is an unedited video. Please don't judge me. It's an unedited video. I didn't do my color correction. I didn't adjust my sound. There's going to be mistakes in it. But let's do this, right? Let's go ahead. I'm gonna take myself off the screen so you guys can see it in full screen. And let me know what you guys think of this theory. All right, Frumley. I've been thinking, what if everything we've seen in From isn't just random chaos? What if it's one massive, messed up game and all the residents are just pawns on the board? Yeah, you heard me. Chess on a cosmic scale. And guess who's pulling the strings? Our enigmatic boy in white. But trust me, there's more to him than just the cryptic warnings he's been dropping. I've got a theory for you that might just blow your minds. What if everything we've been watching in From is one giant messed up game? Yeah, I'm talking chess on a cosmic scale, with at least 2 opposing forces pulling the strings. And who's one of the key players? Our boy in white, of course. But I think there's way more to him than meets the eye. The boy in white isn't just some random kid popping up to give ominous warnings. I think he's an entity that can either exist in multiple forms at once, or is at least working with multiple agents against the dark entity. Crazy, right? And I'm calling it. I think he's working with Martin. Or maybe he even is Martin in some weird multi-dimensional way. And you remember that dog from season 1? Yeah, I think he's in on it too. Together, they're trying to fend off a much darker entity that's been hiding in plain sight. And I'm going to call it right now. The boy in white is the good monster of this twisted place, fighting against a dark entity that we've barely glimpsed. I believe we've seen the dark entity, but I feel like we've only ever really seen him once. Now, we have seen hints of the dark entity. The boy in white appeared with the dog back in season 1. You guys might remember that I pointed out back in our season 2 or season 1 breakdown how when Victor emerged out of the town, how when Victor emerged out of the cellar and went back in the town, that there are bodies everywhere. At least one of the bodies looked like he got handled differently. Now, if you look at this body closely, if you look at this body closest to the dog, you'll notice that this body is ripped in half. And its face looks like a monster. But if this is one of the monsters who died, who did this to it? Who could not only take out a monster, but rip it in half? My theory, it was the boy in white. When we first saw this flashback in season 1, the directors did something interesting because the very next scene, it transitioned to a scene of Victor in his bedroom with his drawings. And what drawing is that on the wall? A giant white monster. I'm convinced that the boy in white, I'm convinced that's the boy in white in his true monstrous form. Like the hero form he takes when it's time to throw. I'm convinced that's the boy in white in his true monstrous form. Like the hero form that he takes when it's time to throw down against the creatures. You even see him trying to distract or comfort Victor after the massacre, spinning on the merry-go-round, almost like he's saying, "Don't worry, kid. I got this." But here's where it gets juicy. Remember when Jim and Tabitha were out in the woods and they were approached? At first, it looked like the dogs were barking. At first, it looked like the dogs were coming for them. But hold up. What if they were barking at each other? That's right. What if the dogs are manifestations of the two opposing forces, the boy in white and the dark entity? They weren't about to attack Jim and Tabitha. They were squaring off for their own twisted showdown. I think one was the boy in white's good manifestation and the other was the dog's, and the other dog was the evil entity's manifestation. And they were there to take Tabitha off the board just like it took out Toby. The evil dog entity wanted to eliminate Tabitha because the evil dog / entity wanted to eliminate Tabitha because she posed a threat to its plan. I think that's why Sarah was manipulated into killing Toby. It was all part of the dark entity's strategy to knock players off the board before they could make their move. I have a theory that this place feeds on hope. More specifically, the boy in white feeds on hope. The more hope that there is in town, the more power he has to do stuff in order to fight back against the dark forces at play. I feel like the more hopeless people feel, then the stronger the dark entities are. It would explain why the monsters screech, why they walk but never run, and it also ties into why the monsters gut their victims and leave them littered around town like the day after New Year's. They're not just killing, they're draining hope from the town. Not convinced? Alright, let's go back to my theory about how everyone has a role to play in this town. From is like a real-time strategy game or a role-playing game. Every character has a role. Christy is the healer, Boyd's the sheriff, and Kenny's the deputy. Even Tabitha is a key player taking on the role of the Chromonacle. So what the hell is a Chromonacle, you ask? Well, Tabitha might just be it. I believe the Chromonacle is a protector of sorts and is a major key to unlocking the game. She's digging, both literally and figuratively, and we're learning that she's connected to something deeper, something ancient, and maybe, just maybe, she's the one meant to disrupt the game while Boyd inspires hope. Tabitha's role might be to uncover the truth, to dig up the secrets buried deep in the foundation of Fromtown. She's the disruptor. She's the one who can mess with the dark entity's plans in ways no one else can. But what about Jade? Jade is probably one of the most mysterious characters. He's smart, cynical, and always digging into clues that no one else notices. The man's clearly got the brain power to crack codes and decipher the town's mysteries like no one else. I think Jade's role hasn't been fully revealed yet, but it feels like it's coming. Maybe he's the scholar of the game, the one meant to crack the codes and figure out how to beat the system. His connection to ancient symbols and Victor's drawings might hold the key to getting everyone out of there. But here's the catch. Jade's walking a fine line. He's smart, but he's also being pushed by the dark entity, just like Christopher was. I feel like the dark entity is actively trying to break Jade. He's constantly seeing horrific things, but is short of being taken off the board entirely. We've already seen hints that Jade might be heading down the same path, one of madness. But if he can hold it together, his intellect might be the key to beating the game. I also think Toby was going to be another important piece in this game, but the dark entity had Sarah take him out before he could even get on the board. This whole town is like a chessboard, and I believe Boyd is more than just a sheriff. He's the hero, the one meant to inspire hope and level up everyone else around him. That's why Boyd's speeches and actions always seem to uplift the town, giving people a reason to keep fighting. Sarah's a wild card, no doubt. She's been manipulated by the dark entity, but I don't think that she's fully on the dark side. Think of her as the town's free agent, caught between the boy in white and the dark entity. Sometimes she's a pawn of the dark entity, like when she took out Toby. But other times, she's almost like an ally to the boy in white, like when she pushed Boyd into the faraway tree. Sarah's caught in the middle of this cosmic tug of war, and she doesn't even realize the weight of her actions. But here's what I think. If she picks a side, it could shift the balance of the entire game. All throughout the show, we've seen Boyd inspiring, giving speeches, staying positive. Everybody's hopeful. Even when this place attacked the mind of his wife and put him in a position where he had to put her down himself, he maintained a semblance of hope. Even when his son stopped speaking to him and things started looking grim for them to leave, he was still inspiring hope. He instilled a system. Crops were growing. People were in the house before dark, and each house had a talisman and rules. Boyd continued to inspire hope by inspiring stability. Maybe people could carve out a life for themselves in this terrifying place. When Boyd said this place couldn't break him, it was like a slap in the face to the dark entity. That was the moment the dark entity put its plan into overdrive. It put a plan in motion to go even further and make Boyd watch as someone close to him was taken away. The creatures want to break Boyd because they know that a broken Boyd means a broken town. And a hopeless town? That's fuel for the dark side. Maybe we've seen the monsters display pack-like behavior back in season 2. When Boyd, Donna, Jim, and Randall were staying the night in the RV, the monsters surrounded the RV, but they didn't behave like they normally do and antagonize the people inside. Instead, all the monsters did was stay at a distance and watch, because the dark entity, the alpha of the pack, was nearby and wanted to take on Boyd himself. It's in this moment that I began to theorize that the monsters and the dark entity may be working together, kind of like Scar and the hyenas from The Lion King. They'll attack, but only if the alpha doesn't want their victim first. We've already seen Boyd's hope put to the test. His wife's breakdown, his son's silence, his struggles with leadership. But through it all, Boyd has kept believing that there's a way out. The monsters know if they can crush Boyd's spirit, the rest of the town will crumble too. And we can't have that, can we? So yeah, I think this is a game of good and evil, and we're watching a chess game being played in front of us, with them only being superficially aware of how they're being played. The boy in white and the dark entity are making moves, and the townspeople are just the pieces on the board. Only some of them are starting to realize the game they're caught in.
I think the forest and the boy in white are powered by hope, which is why the boy in white saved Boyd at the end of season 1. And I think the evil entity is something that is infesting this place with its dark energy, like a locust invading a farmer's crops, feeding off of despair. And at the heart of it all is the forest. The forest itself soaks up whatever energy is flowing through this town. That's why the boy in white saved Boyd at this end of season 1. Hope gave him the power to act. I think the dark entity is trapped in Fromtown just as much as the people are trapped here. I think he's trying to generate enough strength to escape, and in order to do that, he needs to feed on hopelessness. We had a scene back in season 2 when Sarah was talking about the entity and how it was laughing at Boyd. It was then that she mentioned how the entity wanted to escape. I think this place is a prison for the dark entity. What if this entity has been here since at least the 1500s? What if the entity is luring people into Fromtown with that tree in the road in order to get fodder for its strength? What if the boy in white was one of its victims that took on another form? So that's my theory. I think the boy in white draws power from hope, and that's why he saved Boyd at the end of season 1. Hope gave him the juice to act. On the flip side, the dark entity, it feeds on hopelessness like a parasite, and it's trying to generate enough strength to escape its prison. But what do you think? Are you down with this theory, or do you have one of your own that you think tops it? Let me know in the comments, and let's figure this thing out together. And don't forget to subscribe so we can keep the conversation going. That's all I have for this one. I'm going to check you all later. Peace.
All right. That is my main theory as to what I think is happening. I do think that this is a game of like one versus another. I also think that there's a possibility that there is more than one entity at play here. It's definitely possible that it's not just one evil entity. I'm trying to be careful because, but I do think that there's a possibility that there's more than one entity. But the main thing is hope versus hopelessness. I don't think the forest itself is one of the entities. I think it's just something that's caught up in the midst of it. I think the boy in white is powered by hope. I think the evil entities are powered by hopelessness. I do think that we had evidence, and I did see someone want to see this image here. I wanted to highlight this image for a while, but I never really found the right time to do it. So I'm going to put it up on the screen now. It was when we saw the dog when Victor emerged from the cellar. And who said they forgot they was watching a live stream? I'm still here. I'm still here. Obi-Wan Kenobi. But we did see this dog here. And you notice, like, normally the monsters, when they take out their victims, like you guys said, they gut them. This thing is ripped in half. And if you really look at its face, he kind of looks like a monster. He kind of looks like a monster. And the only thing that was standing around was this dog and the boy in white. I really think the boy in white did this. This could have been Christopher going AWOL, whatever, maybe. But I think it was one of the monsters. And I think the boy in white ripped it in half in a fit of rage. There were so many bodies in this scene that this image was only up for like 0.5 of a second, but I caught it. And I don't think I've ever really seen anyone talk about it. So that's what made me start to realize, all right, this boy in white is more than what we're seeing. He's not just a little boy in the forest giving them clues and directing them along the way. He's capable. He's capable. I hear you when you say that's a dude with facial slashes. That mouth looked like a monster's mouth. And normally when the monsters take out someone, they gut them. You see them do other stuff. They'll rip their legs apart. This dude has his guts. These are like intestines. They're still there. So that's what I've noticed. That image stood out to me. We see it here, the boy in white, the dog. He's standing over it like he just did some work. Like he just put in work. He's standing over this like a winner. Monsters do have guts. They just dried out, but they do have guts. Now, what we don't know is how do people become monsters? Look at all these old 70s cards. Look at this one over here. Gutted, 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 not gutted. We're going to talk about this some more. We do know that when Christie opened up the monster, its organs looked dry except for the bile, but we don't know how monsters are made. When he picked that one monster, Smiley looked like he was from the 50s, right? So if they gutted him in the 2020s, yeah, 70 years later, maybe his organs were dry. But what if he was a freshly made monster? Christie said these things used to be human. What if he was a freshly made monster? I get excited about these scenes. I get excited about these moments. There's so much about this time we don't know. You know, we still don't know why Victor is covered in dirt when he comes out of the cellar. When we saw the flashbacks with him and his sister, he was clean. But when he came out of that cellar, my man was looking kind of filthy. He was looking kind of filthy. But yeah, that's what I had for that theory. I'm curious what everyone thinks. I'm curious what everyone thinks as far as the boy in white and the dogs. Oh, do I have this scene? I want to kind of show you this scene because it relates back to the theory, and I know some of you want that visual of what I was referring to. Oh, I found it. I found it. Hopefully this one don't get me in trouble. So again, yeah, my videos are a little bit different. Don't mind them. Look, one dog, two dogs. We've only really ever seen this dog once. This is the only time we've ever seen this. I don't even know if that's the same breed of dog. For all my dog owners, please comment on this because I'm not really good with dogs like that. But these look like two different breeds of dogs. This one has a really, really dark face. We've seen the one dog with the boy in white. This is another dog. And I think this one is a representative for the dark entity. Hi, Bianca. Thank you for joining. I mean, we've been going for a few hours and I'm about to wrap up, but I really appreciate you coming through. I did want to give you a shout out. Bianca, please let me know, where are you checking in from? Thank you. Who we have? Mike, German Shepherds. Thank you. Both Alsatians. Movie blog. Yep, that's the only time you see two dogs. I believe the boy in white morphed into a second dog. I think the boy in white, you know, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Honestly, at first, I thought the boy in white was that dog. And I was like, maybe he's kind of like, you know, like, I don't want to get too religious, but you know, in Christianity, they say God can be the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and yet somehow they're all the same thing. I felt like maybe the boy in white can operate as multiple beings at the same time. I don't have enough proof to prove that, but I can say at least I think that the dog that was initially barking works with the boy in white. Um, German Shepherd is an Alsatian. Oh man, thank you. I feel educated. I'm not very well versed on dogs, but I do know that we see this second dog. Victor freaks the F out, shoots his gun in the air, and they both run off. And these dogs, when you see them in this moment, when I first saw them, I was like, oh, why are they both barking at Jim and Tabitha? No, I think they're barking at each other. And Tabitha was about to get got. The monsters are super strong and do that to us. What if they had their own civil war because they were supposedly 40 years apiece? I remember that scene when Boyd was in the barn and he pushed one of them back, and that monster got mad and like went at his shoulder. I was like, how did Boyd get the strength to push him back? So I'm curious about their strength levels as well. They're strong enough to like break through wood and stuff, but yeah. I'm very curious about this second dog, and I think that this is a representative or an agent of the dark entity. But yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to talk about here. They bark at each other. Yeah, they could be barking at Tabitha, but I think they're barking at each other. And then Victor shoots the gun in the air. Couldn't have someone had their dog in the car. It could have been someone's dog. Alive for that long? Victor's been here since the 70s. Dogs don't have that. They don't live that long. I don't think they live that long, Christina. I'm, you know, it could be another dog, but nobody's claiming their dog. Nobody's looking for a dog. One thing I know about dog owners is that they love their dog. So for their dog to just go missing would be a major thing. Dogs might be hellhounds or the boy in white bodyguards like Damien Thorne in The Omen. Could be, maybe, but those dogs didn't seem like they was getting along. Did all the dogs have collars? I know this dog definitely had a collar because when he approached Boyd after he came out of this cave, when he first got the talisman, he first thing he went after was to look at the collar, but then the dog ran off. Ghost dogs live that long. Obi-Wan Kenobi, maybe, but hold on, I gotta give a quick little shout out. Thank you so much. I was sitting here while we were going through the live. Jose Ricio came through, gave me a donation on Cash App. Thank you so much. Like, thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you. Yo, yeah, y'all already know. Like these episodes were not easy for me to do, and I really appreciate it. Like if you see me do this is because it's my little nervous thing I do now when I think about my mom. I don't even know if I should be saying everything like that, but yeah, thank y'all for that. I really appreciate you, Jose Ricio. Yeah, I see you, man. Thank you. But yeah, just wanted to give that quick shout out. I wanted to give you guys a quick look at my theories. This is the kind of stuff that I'm going to be doing in the Patreon. I'm going to give these theories out that I really thought out. Sometimes I'm going to give the unfinished theories, the ones that I'm still churning in my head. But I think it's going to be a great opportunity for you guys if you guys want to see how, you know, the magic is made. But I think that's all I had. We've been running for like 3 hours now. Any final comments, anything you guys want to say, anything you guys wanted to look at, let me know. But yeah, Thank you all so much. This has been a pleasure. I feel honored. I feel like you guys really touched me with this one. Thank you. That's all I have for this one. Look, if you guys are new here to the movie blog, if you've never been to this channel before, do yourself a favor. Subscribe now. Turn on those notifications. We're going to be doing lives like this every Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern. I try to keep them at 2 hours. Sometimes we hit 3 like we are today. I want to make it accommodating for everybody in the different time zones. Let me know. Patreon members, I know you guys are going to want to have more lives with Q&As. I'm thinking we're going to do them on Sundays. We could have a pre-show live. We could have a live stream during the episode and then an after episode discussion. But yeah, let me know what you guys think and if you guys really think are about the last about these Patreons. Saqib Khan, 3 hours. At least I got the last 5 minutes. Look, Saqib, thank you for coming through. And you're going to get a shout out. And you know what? Because you got 5 minutes, I'm going to give you, you know what? I'm going to give you 2 more minutes just for you, Saqib. We did our theories. We did our images. We had so many things that we wanted to talk about. Let me know if there's anything you wanted to talk about specifically in this episode. I'm going to give you another 2 minutes before I head out. And then, you know, we could do it in the replays. But I appreciate you coming through, Saqib, and I do want to show you attention because you didn't have to give me your time, right? You didn't have to give me your time, and I really appreciate it. Oh, how could I forget? I owe you guys some images. All right, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna find an image real quick from the next episode for you, Saqib, just because you came through. You commented, you showed support. Let me grab one of these images for you. And we're going to do an image from episode 3. And then I'm going to cut out. Man, I was almost gone. Saqib reminded me, y'all. I almost forgot. I owe y'all episode 3 image. Hold on. And Saqib, I hope I'm pronouncing your name properly. If I'm not, please correct me. I'm very sensitive to people pronouncing names, so just let me know. Man, this thing is moving a little slow. Come on, don't do this to me now. All right. It looks like it's giving me a little bit of a hard time with the. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me put some pimping in it. It looked like it might be giving it to me. Where'd you go? Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm going through my images. Here we go. Here we go. All right. I got them. I'm going to give y'all an image from episode 3. I'm going to try to do one that's not too spoilerish, but it kind of is. So if you don't want to see what's going on with episode 3, now is your chance to go ahead and take leave. But if you are curious, this is the one. So I'm not going to show a whole lot more after this. Let me go ahead and get this down. Man, you guys are getting the secret sauce today. You guys are really seeing the behind the scenes stuff. It's Saqib, man. MVP. You came through at the right time in the clutch. Don't ever say we don't appreciate you. You guys ready? I know some of y'all still here. Here it is. The last image before I go. Sakib, you did it. You did it. You the MVP. They're gonna be chanting your name in the comments, Sakib. You guys ready? This one's a little spoilery. Listen, Patrick Jane, you're all special. But I just felt bad because Sakib came through at the end, and I definitely wanted to make sure every one of y'all know y'all special to me. So here we go. Ooh, this one's ooh. Why is he there? Why is he there? Jose Ricio, yo, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Came through. Thank you. Is that from promo? Nah. Is that exclusive? Now, I promise you, in T-minus 5 seconds, somebody's going to be leaking all of this stuff to Reddit. But I'm giving you guys one early. I'm going to zoom in on it so you guys can see it high res. I'm going to make myself smaller. I'm going to hide your comment a little so people could see it. Let me zoom in some more. Maybe I'll give one more, right? You guys got time for one more? I'll give one more. One more. Is that okay? Or do you guys want me to stop here? Can I give one more? Do you want to? All right, I'm going to give one more. Should I give this one? All right, I'm gonna give this one. This is this kind of stuff you're gonna see on the Patreon. So this is, remember, I said consider this a preview into the Patreon. You're gonna see the behind the scenes stuff. You're gonna see stuff that's slightly more spoilery. I'm gonna give one more, just so we could call it a good night. Sakib, yo, chanting your name, my guy, chanting your name. You guys ready? Or do you want to look at this one a little bit more? All right, I got one more, and then I'm gonna call it. Yeah, he's over there with Pinhead. Yes, is there a third? Yeah, yes. Couple people up in here. All right, I'm gonna give you another 15 seconds to kind of study this image before I move on to the next one. I'm gonna highlight some comments. I'm gonna give you another 10 seconds. Did I drop the Patreon link? I did. Let me put it back in here. See, this is how you hack and get more time with the image. Yo, let's go. One more. You guys ready? Okay. No, the screen's not frozen. I'm just letting y'all soak this image in. Kind of missed it. Do you think, what is up with the skeleton? I think the skeleton people are another type of talisman for whoever used to live there before. You know, Scooby-Doo is my favorite cartoon character. So growing up, I used to love Scooby-Doo. So I maybe I do laugh like him sometimes. Give me a Scooby snack. I don't know. Mo, Mo, welcome. Yo, it's T. Oh, oh, I'm crying. Oh, that was a real laugh. I'm crying. Um, uh, eh, eh. uh, when Kenny and the dad stood out there, who do you think they heard tonight? Was it the monsters or other people? Kenny and what dad? His dad? I don't think his dad was outside. I think we only ever seen him in the clinic. All right. All right. One more. Nah. I can't do no more. I can't do no more because I looked at the other images and they were a little too telling. But I promise you, somebody is going to leak them all in Reddit in order to get themselves some upvotes, or some YouTuber is going to make a video saying that these leaked or they have an inside source or something like that. I can't do any more than this, but I can go back and forth between these two. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Is this Amy? Amy, 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 thank you. Thank you so much showing support on Cash App. Amy, girl, thank you. I really appreciate the support. Thank you so very much. Thank you all so much. I really love that. I see you, coming through on Cash App, showing your love and support. Thank you. Thank you so much. I don't even know y'all understand. My heart dropped when I got demonetized right before From. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Don't watch next episode. Oh man. Is the statue going or is it to the right more? Nah, there's all of them are here. All of them are here. All right, I'm gonna show some more comments and then I'm gonna head out. Oh, a Facebook one. Marilyn Anderson, thank you for coming through on Facebook. Look, thank you, Marilyn. Oh man, I forget that we go live on Facebook sometimes. So we're getting on 3 hours and 15 minutes. So I'm gonna wrap this up. But yeah, this has been a really fun live. I can't wait to do this again with you all. I can't wait to do this again next Monday. I'm gonna try my best to work hard on this next video. It's recorded. I'm editing it now. I think that you guys are going to be really interested in the next 2 episodes the most. Thank you all so much. Yeah, Dulcinea, I know there's lots of pics out there. Look, I try to be careful with what I show people because I don't want to. I want people to really preserve the experience of the sensation of watching it and genuinely being surprised. There's some people who don't care about being surprised. I know there's an audience for that. You guys are searching for it on Reddit. I'm gonna put it up on Patreon. We're gonna be able to talk to that stuff for that audience. But for the most part, I really do. I appreciate when I watch these shows, and you guys should see me standing up screaming at the TV when Tabitha does something that irritates me or there's another jump scare. And I want you all to, I really, really, truly wish you all enjoyed this show the same way I do. So yeah, there's definitely previews for next episode. People are holding up their phones to the TV and putting them out there. I'll put them in the Patreon. the previews for the next episodes. It's definitely all coming. So thank you, everyone. Here are 2 images. I'm going to check out now. If you want, I'll leave this up for a few seconds and then I'll let you guys go. But yeah, if you guys are new here, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Facebook. Please like, please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 30,000 subscribers. That's the number I was given, right? This isn't a number I'm making up. There's a number I was given in order to get more opportunities. I really need to, have more authority. Thank you all so much. If you can, please subscribe. If you have friends that aren't subscribed and they're looking at other YouTubers, tell them to subscribe to this too. I'm not saying unsubscribe, but to them other people, but subscribe to this too. Trust me, they're going to have a good time. Thank you all so much. Love you all. Thank you. Peace.